is Colonial League football action. Hello, everybody. From Notre Dame High School, I'm Bob Dady. Tonight, Penn Argyl and Notre Dame, both teams sporting a 5-3 one-loss record for the year, looking with that wary eye for a possible playoff spot, maybe, depending on a little bit of help from some other teams. And working with me tonight is my partner, as usual, Coach Tony Coca. Tony, we saw Penn Argyl against Catasauqua a couple weeks ago, and I got to tell you, I was real impressed with Mike Bortz and Tim Hicks from Penn Argyl.
Yeah, both those kids can play in any league in the Valley, and I think what Coach Sampson's going to do tonight, he's going to have to utilize those two to make sure that he gets on the win column. I think when talking to Coach Sampson earlier tonight, what he's going to try to do is run a little option, try to get the ball in Bortz's hand as many times as he possibly can, but that kid's an athlete.
Hey, how about 1,400 yards between Hicks and Bortz's rushing? And what makes it unusual for Bortz is that he's a quarterback. Other than Donovan McNabb, you don't find quarterbacks that run for that kind of yardage.
Yeah, quarterbacks, point guard, shortstops, they're your athletes. And that's the guy that you got to get the ball in his hands the most that you can. On the other hand, Notre Dame's going to come out here tonight, and I think I'm going to see something for the first time I've ever seen tonight. I'm going to see a 3-3-5 defense. I'm going to see how Penn Argyl attacks that 3-3-5. And maybe we can get a little bit of an insight on what Notre Dame's going to do tonight with the passing game in that shotgun position. Again, another quarterback, which is an athlete, trying to take them to the promised land.
Well, Bortz, speaking of running, if he can't run, he passed. 10 touchdowns, 856 yards, and he does it all. So they're very well equipped to go on to their 6th victory of the year. But standing in their way, Notre Dame, Mark Julian, the quarterback. Talk about a transition, huh?
Wow, guard to quarterback. The dream that all us fat guys have, except I saw this kid practicing before the game. He's not fat guy at all, but I'll tell you what, I don't know how he was ever a guard. But the point that I saw, what I liked about him, this kid has a trigger. He stands in shotgun, gets the ball, makes a read, poof, ball's out of his hand right there. Coach Brown sort of has that little Cheshire cat smile tonight, saying this is what we're going to do. We're going to dink and doink and then stretch the field when we have to. I'm looking for an exciting, wide open, maybe a long game tonight.
Well, Julian has 13 touchdowns, make that 12, 1,300 yards. He can do it all. He's got a gun for an arm. So both of these teams are ready under perfect football conditions tonight. We hope you'll sit back and enjoy a good one. Penn Argyl, Notre Dame, next.
When you need a prescription filled, who do you turn to? Walters Pharmacy. Walters Pharmacy compounds prescriptions and takes filling prescriptions as their #1 priority. At Walters, you'll save time. Trust Walters Pharmacy for convenience with free, fast delivery in the city of Allentown. You can visit walterspharmacy.net and email the pharmacists with questions. Since 1937, Walters Pharmacy, making life easier through genuine care.
You think about the roads people drive on, how each one is different. Then you build a family of cars that treats them all the same. The 2005 Volvos with electronically controlled all-wheel drive. For confidence on any road.
And we are back at Notre Dame High School on this second to the weekend, last weekend of the regular season, Tony. We'll have a game tomorrow night for you, Becca Northampton, and then Wilson Notre Dame again next Saturday, and at which time that will conclude the regular season, and we go off to the playoffs. Don't know how many teams are going to make it this year, Coach, but should be an interesting format nonetheless. But it looks like Liberty and Easton, probably, and maybe an Emmaus in 4A. Nobody in 3 at this point. 2, Saucon Valley, Northern Lehigh, and 1, Pius X. Does that pretty well wrap it up?
Yeah, I think Central Catholic might have a shot if they win the next 2, and they have 2 tough games left. I think they play Deeroff tomorrow, and then they end the season with Emmaus, which could cause Emmaus to be knocked out of a 4A if Central Catholic wins. With the District 12 coming in from Philadelphia, things are sort of a little chaotic as far as playoffs go. But we got 2 teams right here that are fighting for playoff spots, whether it be Eastern Conference or whether it be District 11. The winner of this one goes on probably, and the loser maybe has to say, okay, next week we're playing for some pride.
Okay, Alex McAvoy, number 3 on your screen, will be for Notre Dame in gold and blue, the Fighting Irish colors of the Crusaders of Notre Dame High School, looking for victory number 6 under head coach Dave Brown in his first year. Little pooch boot at about the 40-yard line. They're going to blow it dead at that point. I think the fellow who took the ball, his knee touched the ground, Coach. Let's see. The whistle came real quick on this one.
He might have fair caught that. And when you kick the ball after 10 yards, it's anybody's ball. So the guys that don't touch the ball that often, they're not going to take a chance as the coaches were coaching.
Okay, first down and 10 for Penn Argyl. Watch for number 5, Mike Bortz. He's Mr. Everything for Penn Argyl. Tim Hicks, number 21. Very, very effective, quick and shifty. Curtis Fleming is your flanker, and the other running back is Eric DeFelice, number 4. A very, very good football team. 5-3 under Eric Sampson. Out of the gun, and Bortz can do a variety of different things. This is one of them. He runs, and as he gets across the 40, 45, 48-yard line, nice pickup for Mike Bortz. I like this young man.
Yeah, this kid can play anywhere, and he's the quarterback for Penn Argyl, as we're going to go through their lineup, I think, right as we start here. There's Mike Bortz, quarterback, and if you watch that, okay, on the replay, you can't see it up top, but Notre Dame had overloaded that side, and we're coming off of their left side, and Bortz took the ball, little counter move, and comes back to the right side where they were in a balanced defense.
Got to remember this young man, Mike Bortz, number 5, and again, he's the quarterback, folks. 834 yards. He averages 7.9 yards every time he touches the football. He has scored 7 touchdowns by rushing. We're going to have a measurement now. Looks like this is very close, but I think they're going to come up just a little bit shy.
So he has 9.9999 yards on that one. So nothing's going to hurt on that particular run play. I watched Notre Dame's defense, because this is unique. I've never seen a 3-3-5 defense before. I'm starting to see more 3-man fronts, but this is going to be sort of new for Coach Coca up here in our pillbox.
They're not coming. Bortz, the gun, back at about the 43. Quarterback option, keeps it around right end, breaks 1, 2, 3 tackles, and he gets across the 30, 40, 35-yard line to about the 32, and that is Mike Bortz at his very best.
Again, that 3-5, you watch Notre Dame comes up, their outside linebacker comes out to play pitch man. Here he comes, he's coming down the line. That's where the linebacker, he's got to scrape to get there, because you have the force by the corner, and he's a big gap for Bortz to turn the corner and get into the hole. Nice big gain. Doesn't hurt his average again.
Yep, first down for Penn Argyl, and that's 33 yards rushing on the first 2 plays. They're going to be in that 200 to 300-yard rushing area if he keeps this up, because we're only in the first couple of minutes of quarter number 1. Watch this young man. First time now as he hands it off. And Hicks, his favorite ball carrier in the backfield, gets about 4 yards over left tackle.
This is what Coach Sampson was trying to say to us before the game, Bob, that he wants to control the clock, try to run it a little bit. And what he's doing is taking that 3-3-5 defense that Notre Dame plays, and he's spreading it out. The receivers and the backs for Penn Argyl, we have Eric DeFelice, we have Timmy Hicks, Curtis Fleming, we have Steve Waring, and we have Josh Melham.
Well, those are your backs and receivers. Penn Argyl with the second down from the 27-yard line at about 6. Bortz will keep it. There he goes. Giddy up. Here we go. Over left tackle, and he breaks back to the middle of the field. And that should be enough for another first down for Penn Argyl. Mike Bortz starting to set some records tonight.
Yeah, what he's doing is they're spreading the field offensively with their receivers and causing Notre Dame to sort of spread the field with them, and then allows him a lot of gaps off the tackle. And what he's doing is he's finding that off-tackle play, whether it be the option or the keep that he's doing. He's getting really nice yardage. Notre Dame's going to somehow have to adjust that defense and sort of bring it in and pack the box a little bit more. This is going to be a long night for them with Hicks running the ball the way he does.
First down and 10 from the 15-yard line of Notre Dame. That has been Mike Bortz and Tim Hicks. There's Bortz, there's Hicks. And this time he gets caught just about the line of scrimmage back to the 15, no gain.
Yeah, that time Notre Dame does a real good job. First of all, the wide receivers don't get the blocks that they were getting before. Notre Dame comes up and forces it, and when you force the ball, you're taking that ball right out of Hicks's hand. The offensive line is we have Zach Fulmore, Richie Smith, Justin Arafi, Alex Bonasace, and Billy Parr at the right tackle.
All 5 offensive plays thus far in quarter number 1 have been rushing yards, as Bortz has not opted to throw it up in the air, but he can. 856 yards, 10 touchdowns. He'll throw it. He doesn't have any qualms. Back, here Liz fires to Hicks, incomplete, right about at the line of scrimmage. Probably wouldn't have gotten more than maybe a yard or 2 more because Notre Dame was closing. That's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Yeah, Notre Dame, they went out and covered the wide receivers. On the defensive line for Notre Dame, we have Robbie McGuire, Nate Kranick, and Chris Unera.
Very good.
The secondary is Greg Sanguinito, Josh Inderice. My eyes are going bad. And Brian Ward. You got to excuse me, guys. I'm reading off a teleprompter here.
Well, that's the second thing that goes when you get old, Coach.
Mom and Dad, I apologize. Being
Sports back out of the gun again, looking downfield, and he's going to go to the end zone.
Touchdown.
Touchdown! Yes or no?
No.
Now they say he was out of bounds he had the heel of his foot over the white line, incomplete to Eric DeFelice.
Yeah, the back judge there, Pete Koenig, I'm pretty sure he had a real good look at it. Let's take a look. Shotgun. Did Notre Dame comes with a stunt. They pick it up well. There's the ball. He's sitting. I think that's a catch.
I thought so, too.
I think that's a catch, yeah. Throw the red flag. Throw the red flag. We need a replay on that one. But, no, Pete had a much better view than we have out of our pillbox there.
0 for 2 in passing tonight. Penn Argyl again. Bortz looking right over the middle, and it's caught at the 1. Touchdown or not?
I would say he was
yes,
in, but
they haven't given any.
Side judge over there is not marking it down, but that big receiver, 82, is that DeFelice?
Yes.
Oh,
let's see.
I'll tell you what a
Let's
receiver.
look at it again.
Let's watch this.
Oh, that sure looked like a touchdown.
She was over to no comment. Got another red flag.
That'll just go as a completed pass at the goal line for an automatic 1st down, but it sure looked in. Bortz now, the nose of the ball about 3 inches away from the goal line. That is their Penn Argyl's 3rd 1st down in quarter number 1.
No, we have the distinct advantage of seeing this on the monitor where the officials have to make the call down in the field, and we don't really have a great angle here, folks. We're just seeing what we see when we watch the replay, just like you. Going for a break?
Okay, well, with 8 minutes remaining 1st quarter, Penn Argyl, Notre Dame, scoreless. We'll be back.
They say that nothing lasts forever, but durable, long-lasting Rainer garage doors from ABE Doors and Windows put this to the test. They're made from quality materials and are actually guaranteed to last as long as you own your home. In fact, the only thing as reliable as Rainer is the company who installs it. To find out more about worry-free Rainer garage doors, call the ABE Doors and Windows man in Allentown. Because quality doesn't cost, it pays.
Allentown Business School means absolute success with degrees in medical, technology, business, design, and legal studies. You get the right skills from specialized training that can put you on the road to success in as little as 18 months.
ABS gives the students what they need to succeed. I would definitely recommend it to anybody that wants to get a career and get on their feet and get into the work world.
Not too many people can get up every morning and say to themselves, you know what, I'm only 23 and I have a career.
Call ABS today and discover absolute success tomorrow.
Last year, these two teams met in the month of October, and Notre Dame 35, Penn Argyl 7. I don't think it's going to be that way tonight.
No, it might be 35-35 at the end of the 1st quarter, the way these guys are moving up and down the field. Yeah, I can't wait to see that passing attack that Notre Dame likes to use.
Yeah, where do we see Mark Julian, number 12, the quarterback from Notre Dame? They just rave about this young man. They say he can throw it a country mile. Anyway, all Penn Argyl needs now is about a foot, not a mile. And Bortz goes to the goal line. One. Yeah, still no call. Yes, yep, now it is. Touchdown, Mike Bortz. Total of 6 carries, rushing yards, 44 yards, and a touchdown for Mike Fort, 6-0 Penn Argyl.
Definitely an athlete. He can play anywhere. But here, with that, the number 5, the linebacker for Notre Dame, T.J. Daly, he just comes on an inside A stunt. And if you watch Bort's really smart on the quarterback sneak there. He holds the ball and then falls behind the guard.
Yeah, Brown Daub and all the Mazda dealers, Volvo dealers, Lehigh Valley present the PAT. The extra point is up, and it is plenty good. And it's 7-0 in favor of Penn Argyl.
That was a really nice drive, and we're off on the break, right? Okay.
Football fans, if you love dealing with a winning team, head to the leader, Kleckner's in Whitehall and Emmaus, featuring GE washers and dryers, GE dishwashers, GE microwaves, GE ranges, GE refrigerators. Plus, Kleckner's features free delivery, backed by their own factory-trained service department. Hurry in for best selection. Make us your last stop and see the savings on new GE appliances at Kleckner's, 2177 MacArthur Road in Whitehall and 575 Chestnut Street in Emmaus.
Go ahead, scream! Hallow weekends are back at Dorney Park. Bigger, better, and scarier than ever, with 2 new haunted houses, ghastly ghouls in the all-new Fright Zone, and plenty of thrill rides to scream for. Kids will love our magical funhouse, daytime trick-or-treating, and lots of fun rides, and Camp Spooky. Hallow weekends at Dorney Park. So much fun it's scary. Every Saturday, Sunday, and the last 3 Friday nights in October.
And we are back at Notre Dame High School. Boy, Penn Argyl didn't waste any time. Tony Coca marched right down, 3 passes, 5 rushes, touchdown.
That was an excellent drive. Coach Sampson had an excellent game plan to open the game. Now it's going to be very interesting to watch the vaunted offense of Notre Dame in the shotgun, much like Penn Argyl. I think what Penn Argyl did is sort of put Notre Dame on their heels coming out with that shotgun offense.
Vic Mashersky kicks off at about the 8-yard line, and Notre Dame will bring it back maybe for about 4 or 5 yards, and that is number 21, Chris Lewis, with the return, and it's 1st down and 10 for Notre Dame. Let's watch what the Crusaders do.
Now, Coach Brown are going to go shotgun. And what they're going to do is they're going to take a look at Jillian. He's going to see, he's going to read that and get the ball. When I saw this kid warming up, the ball comes out of his hand like a rocket. So let's watch this. It's going to be interesting.
1st down and 10, and they'll keep him back out of that gun for most of the game, unless there's a drastic change in the situation. That's their plan. Pass, and it is a completed pass. Coming to the near sideline is number 18. That's Paul Del Vecchio. And, boy, he's lit up a couple of stadiums this year. Del Vecchio has 34 receptions for 571 yards.
Just a little outside curl, and what has a good arm, and he throws that ball. That's the sign of a good high school quarterback, ladies and gentlemen. When you can throw the ball sideline to sideline, he throws that on a rope, and what happens is that the receiver there, Del Vecchio makes a real nice catch and turns it up for a nice gain.
Ball be spotted at the Notre Dame 40-yard line for a 1st down. Their first down. And they didn't waste any time at all. 20-yard gain. Julian looking. Boy, he's quick as a cat. Fires over the middle, and it's a completed pass for a couple more. And that was completed to number 28, Brian Jung.
Watching this kid, what they're doing, and this Coach Brown has done we'll get back to that in a second. Brian Jung as a running back. Your fullback is Nate Kranick. You have Del Vecchio as a wide receiver, Pulsini as a wide receiver, and Chris Lewis is your slot back. What you have right now is just choice routes, ladies and gentlemen. This is the receiver reads the defense. He gets and finds the hole, turns around, and Jillian's the type of quarterback that just sits there, finds a good progression read, and boom, there's the ball.
He'll be standing back at the 40, lean guy for a former guard. You would think that have a lot of weight on him, or a lot of muscle in any case. Here's a pass at the 50, incomplete and almost picked off.
Ill-advised pass there. He threw that one right in the coverage, but that's the life of a high school quarterback. Take a look at the line from Notre Dame. We have Mike Degenhart, Greg Sidler. We have Nico Italiani, Dan Cavanaugh, and Mark France. Nico Italiani. I'll tell you what, that kid has a future. That is the name. Boy, that's the name I'd like to have. That is a great name.
Nico. My name is Nico. Third down from the 45-yard line. Watch Julian get rid of this ball immediately if he can. And just as soon as I said that, coming in and a big sack for Penn Argyl.
What? Go ahead.
Number 82. And that's Josh Melham.
What you had there is Penn Argyl pressed the receivers for Notre Dame and sort of got Jillian a little bit confused because they really got in the receivers' faces and didn't allow them to run their choice patterns, which I'm seeing, which is a big part of the Notre Dame offense.
Notre Dame will have to cough it up or punt it, if you will, on fourth down. McAvoy's punt at about the 25-yard line. Back to the 30, 32-yard line. Wow, somebody's pushing and shoving. Steve Waring took that punt and returned it 5 yards, first down at the 35.
Yeah, that was good coverage by Notre Dame. They were down there. They had that thing covered. It was about a three-yard return of defensive line from Penn Argyl. We have Devin Coleman, Justin Arafai. We have Alex Bonacis. We have Richie Smith and Josh Melham up front for the Green Knights.
Yeah, you just saw Melham come in there on that last play for a good defensive effort. Penn Argyl now with the first down at the 35. Bortz will keep, and I think he might lose about 2 on this one.
Yeah, that time the defensive end or the outside linebacker, he stays home and he makes a real good play, and Bortz runs right into that particular tackle.
Notre Dame 0 for 0 attempts and rushing yardage, but 3 for 25 yards in the passing area. They had the ball just once, one offensive set, had to give it up, and now Penn Argyl's got the football back. Second down and about 11. Bortz and Julian both will stand back there and throw a million passes tonight, which will keep us here till about 4 in the morning. Bortz fires across. It's incomplete.
And we'll be here till 4 if you don't catch that ball like that. But that, again, that's a nice little curl route. He curls up in front of the safety, and he just lets the ball go through his hand. We have Paul Del Vecchio, Tom Van Sickle. We have Brian Jung, T.J. Daly, and Chris Lewis in the defensive secondary for the Crusaders of Notre Dame.
Bortz, as I indicated to you initially, 149 attempts, 61 completions, 15 interceptions, 856 yards, 10 touchdowns, and that's when he's not running. Again, Mike cranks up, fires over the middle, and it is caught over midfield, and a completed pass to number 25. And that is Curtis Fleming, and that's a first down.
Yeah, what you have here is you have a stunt coming off the end. They're sending 2 guys. They're sending a strong safety outside linebacker on a stunt, and what that does is it makes Notre Dame go into a man coverage, and if Bortz has the time, you're going to beat the man coverage, and that's exactly what happened. He finds the hole for a real nice gain in the first down.
4th first down for Penn Argyl in the first 7 minutes of football action. At midfield, a little about the 48 actually. Here is Bortz, quarterback keeper now in an option play rather. And here comes a fumble, but I think Penn Argyl got it. They just love to run, this football team does.
If I had Bortz, I think I'd run the football too. Again, what a good athlete. But that time, what happens is Notre Dame just get your key to breaking up an option is going to be penetration by your down people. If you do that, it forces the quarterback deep, which forces the pitchman deep, and you're going to screw up the whole option series. So if Notre Dame keeps penetrating and doing that, it could be a long night on the option, and Penn Argyl will have to make some adjustments.
Yeah, I think they'd want to go back to Hicks because, well, again, when we had him against Catasauqua, he impressed the daylights out of all of us. So here's a pass over in the corner to DeFelice at midfield, incomplete. going to bring up 3rd and 15.
Yeah, what you're having here right now is Notre Dame's nose guard is getting a little bit of pressure on Bortz, and it's forcing him out of a comfort zone. The officials today, we have Tommy Little in the middle, Billy Engler is the umpire, Herb Burrell is the head linesman, the line judge is Tom Capehart, and Pete Koenig, we said that before, he's the back judge. Good crew, good bunch of people.
Penn Argyl 2 out of 6 in passing attempts and completions for 30 yards. And Mike Bortz now with a 3rd and 15. And here comes the call from the side judge.
And I think we're going to get a penalty of a delay of game.
Delay game on white. And that's 5 yards of the game, and it's against Penn Argyl, cost them 5. Nice night for football, considering we're knocking on the door of November, which will be here, I guess, on Monday.
Yeah, this is great. I'll tell you what, there's always great weather in football, except in like January when it's like freezing. But football, there's always so nice weather for football.
I'd be freezing in January.
Yeah, it's
3rd and 20. I'd be freezing.
You get a lot of foot warmers.
Bortz looking downfield, winds up, cocks his arm, fires across the middle, and it's complete to Steve Waring at about the Notre Dame 42-yard line.
That was what we call, ladies and gentlemen, the dig pattern. What the receiver's going to do is he's going to come into the middle, and watch this. Bortz buys some time. He sort of gets a semi-roll, and if you watch the receiver, there he comes. He just finds the hole, gets between the safety and the cornerback, or the two safeties in this case, finds the hole, sits there. Bortz is a good enough quarterback to make that throw and make it a 4th and makeable, but they're going to punt the ball.
Yep, they will at the Notre Dame 42. They could pin the Crusaders deep in their own territory with a good punt here by Mushinski. And the ball drops at the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 yard line. And boy, talk about nailing somebody against with their backs to the wall.
Yeah, and in high school, it's where the ball is, not where the person is, and that's why that ball is going to be downed on the 1 yard line. That's a real good play by Penn Argyl special teams.
Victor Mechurski is how you pronounce that name.
Victor's back kicking.
Devin, there you are.
Defensive line for the Crusaders, we have Mr. Coleman, Justin Arafi, Alex Bonacis, Richie Smith, and Josh Melham.
1st and 10 for Notre Dame.
I got Arafi right 3 times tonight.
Arafi?
Arafi, thank you.
Well, maybe not all the time. At the 2 yard line, 1st down for Notre Dame. Let's see what Mark Julian does. And this time, this is their first rush of the evening to get them some running room out to the 5.
Yeah, they're just trying to get a little bit of running room out here. The ball was on the 1 foot line. Secondary, we got Curtis Fleming, Eric D. Felice, and Ryan Del Palma. At the linebackers, the cornerbacks are Hicks and Waring, and your safety is Mike Bortz.
That was number 4 for Notre Dame, Nate Krant with the carry. That's their first rush of the evening. They have 2 yards rushing on the board, and it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 8. Julian, handoff, getting some running room. Kranick almost broke that tackle as he crossed the 10-yard line, and I think he might have got enough for a 1st down. Let's wait to see. He needed 8 yards.
I think if you're Coach Sampson, you're working against the pass all week, the pass. And in high school, you only have basically Tuesday and Wednesday to really work the kind of defense that you want to do. Those are your hard days of practice. And if you remember when we had Catasauqua did find some soft spots and run off tackle against Penn Argyl. So this is going to be a very interesting. It's 1st and 10, and now we'll see it. Oh, they're going under center.
2nd 1st down for Notre Dame. Nate Kranick again gets the carry. Whoops, got hit nice as he got out to the 15-yard gain, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, that's the you're not expecting it. You're working shotgun all week, and watch the replay here. It's simply a lead. It's sort of like it's an isolation, but the isolation comes from the wing back. He comes around and from the outside instead of from an inside out. Like the fullback, the wingback's coming outside in. He's going to lead block, and what we're going to do is we're going to have the back follow in on an isolation on the line.
It's not as cold as it appears out there, although you see the steam coming out of the players and the face mask. It's chilly, but it's great football weather. Again, for about 3 or 4, Kranick. And that is another 1st down for Notre Dame, their 3rd. with about 90 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it's very interesting that now all of a sudden Notre Dame says, okay, we're going to put him under center. We're going to put Julian under center. We're going to sort of run the ball. And maybe what he's trying to do is he's trying to bring the Penn Argyl defense up, and then he'll go back to throwing the ball.
Well,
little cat and mouse right now.
Tony Coca, Bob Dady, the B team, along with Chris Popick, our executive director, and our marvelous, marvelous staff of people, following up that Easton Liberty football game tonight. Hope you enjoyed that one, and hope you're enjoying this one as well.
Speaking of bees, you see the nest over here that they're building in our pillbox right here? They're probably all frozen to death.
I would think.
This is like, ladies and gentlemen, you got to see the
if they ever attack the city of Easton, they better not even bother doing it over here, because this place will stand after everything's gone.
You got it. We are the safest people in America.
President Bush doesn't have to worry about us. We're just fine, thank you, here. 2nd down and 9. Again, Julian out of the shotgun. Looking, can't find anybody. Now he unloads, and it's a completed pass to his Paul Delvecchio. And Delvecchio gets out for a 1st down on a nice catch. Good carry, and he's knocked off his feet after gaining 10.
Yeah, what they did there is they basically run their choice patterns, and Delvecchio's on the outside, and he's just going to come on a crossing pattern. Watch. The secondary's dropping. They're in a zone. We have a kid fall back. There's one of the safeties falls down, and Delvecchio just runs across, and Jillian waits for him to clear, leads him with the ball, and we have a real nice game. That's a real nice play, Coach. Real good play.
1st down at the Notre Dame 42-yard line, and that is their 3rd. Again, Julian. Nice lean, good, quick release, and pass, and again, Kranick, well, man, he is getting popped. 2, 3, 4 white jerseys come up, put a shoulder to him, and finally he goes down after about no gain.
Yeah, that time, let's see if we get a replay before we go to break here. I'd probably not, maybe come back. But they ran a little screen pass there, and the linebacker was there to make the play. So I guess we're going to go to a break right now.
Yeah, we are, and that's the end of quarter number 1. Good call, and it's on the scoreboard. Looks like this: Penn Argyl 7, Notre Dame nothing. Back with more football in a moment.
You think about the roads people drive on, how each one is different. Then you build a family of cars that treats them all the same. The 2005 Volvos with electronically controlled all-wheel drive. On any road.
Winning takes more than the athlete, more than the coaches, more than the pain and sweat from grueling training.
It takes more to orchestrate the win.
It takes a dedicated team. Bethlehem Sporting Goods and Russell Athletic are that dedicated team. Suit up with Bethlehem Sporting Goods and Russell Athletic. Bethlehem Sporting Goods, your Russell Athletic team headquarters.
We are back here at Notre Dame. If this light bulb goes out, you're going to get the crank and, turn the thing. There we are.
You will talk to us. We will get the information from you today. Hello, guys.
We was better than you. All right. Some of this is frivolous.
Here I go again. The flies, the bees, and not a light bulb.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, folks.
Rats.
I'm just having a great. This is the best job I've had in a long time. Love it here at RCN.
Rats in the cheese shop or something, right?
Cheese factory. Yeah. Fine dog in a butcher shop.
Oh! Fires over, and it's a completed pass to Delvecchio, and he comes back to the 45 and tries to get straightened out, and finally he's put down. That's a completed pass, and that's 5 out of 6 for Mr. Julian tonight.
Now, when I was the coach at Whitehall, one of the theories that we had was that you don't have enough good athletes on the defensive side of the ball if you have a little dink-and-doink passing game. And I think what you see what Notre Dame's doing right now is they're spreading out that good Penn Argyl defense, and what they're trying to do is hit the little seams on the crossing pattern. If you got a receiver that likes to come across the middle, that's going to make your quarterback look really good. And I'm pretty impressed with the Notre Dame offense, but I'll tell you what, Penn Argyl's defense doing a heck of a job out there, keeping them under control.
We'll have Notre Dame again next weekend, their finale. Here is a pass by Julian, and again it's complete to Del Vecchio, to number 14 rather, Matt Pulsini, and that's a completed pass. Should be enough for a first down. It is. The Crusaders picking up first down, number 4.
Again, what it is they're simply curl patterns. What's happening, they're driving the secondary off the ball, and then what happens is the receiver just curls up in front, and Julian's good enough quarterback to make that progression read and find the kid that's open. This is really a nice offense.
They were 1-2 starting off the year. Here's Kranick gets the call straight ahead, but a good 5 yards by the punishing running back, and it'll be second down. They started out 1-2, Coach, as I mentioned, and now they're out to 5-3. Nice finish.
I can see that because this is an offense that's going to take you over there. Most of the patterns are what we call choice patterns, and a choice pattern means that you're running a pattern at the defender. If the defender goes out, you turn in. If the defender goes in, you turn out, and it's up to quarterback to read which way you turn and get him the ball. And obviously, Jillian's been schooled the right way. Coach Brown has done a fantastic job schooling this kid as a quarterback.
As Coach Tracy, did they get the defibrillators off of him since the Yankees lost? Here's a pass and completely overthrown, and I mean by a country mile, incomplete.
Yeah, he tried to go deep that time. They weren't on the same page that time. Now we got a 3rd and long. It's a nice little offense that Coach Brown has out here. Talking to him before the game, I like to throw the ball. He said he likes to throw the ball, so we have something in common. We talked a lot about the passing game before the game.
Brown is Julian is a senior.
Well, some college is going to find this kid, and I'll tell you what, he's got that quick little wrist. He reminds me a lot of Schwenk in the hand getting rid of the ball.
Julian standing back at the 35-yard line, looking on the balls of his feet, fires over the middle, and it is a completed pass. And the reception by Matt Pulsini picks up about 5 yards. Let's see if they 6 yards is very close to a first down.
Yeah, again, see the release on him. It's a flick of the wrist. That's the old Joe Namath flick of the wrist. I'm showing my age with Broadway Joe. This makes it a very makeable 4th down, 4th and short. Let's see which way Coach Brown decides to take this.
Now the problem being that when you have 27 yards rushing and 50 yards passing, there seems to be a little imbalance there. There probably should be more of a rushing game to set off this outstanding passing offense that they have. Timeout, Notre Dame.
I think, I don't know if we're going to break. I'll come back to are we staying here? Okay, we're going to go for a break,
okay.
And I'll explain how
we have 9 minutes remaining in the first half. Still 7-0 Penn Argyl. Notre Dame going toward the end zone. We'll be right back.
He doesn't report to a management committee. He doesn't report to a marketing department. He reports to Mary Johnson's arthritis, to Sally Wickstrom's upset stomach, and to Greg Porter's poison oak. He's your family prescription center pharmacist. He lives and works right here in town, so that means he reports to you. Call Family Prescription Center today at 866-0709.
Taking the time to care, Family Prescription Center.
Kids, dinner. Remember when life was much simpler? It was easy to know who could be trusted to carpet your home.
Today, the choices are overwhelming. Make it simple. Make it Mohawk Color Center.
Celebrating 125 years of Mohawk commitment to floor covering quality, comfort, and style. Now protect your carpet against pet accidents, spills, and odors. Mohawk's new Forever Fresh, a collection of odor reader carpets, the ultimate in both stain and odor protection. Visit R&J Carpet Connection, 922 North 3rd Street in Whitehall.
I want to thank Tony Corey, the athletic director here at Notre Dame, for an outstanding meal tonight. They put us up in the garage area, and we had sausage and wings pretzels, potato chips, soda. What else did they have? They said we could have cookies, iced tea.
It's a great feedback, I'll tell you
man.
what. I thought I would lose weight doing this and working with you guys.
No.
Are you kidding me?
And then after we were all done eating 2-3 times around with our big, huge eating staff, he said, "You want some pierogies or something?" And here is a illegal procedure probably against Notre Dame.
Yeah, it looked like they jumped. But going back to your original question, Bob, sometimes you don't need the running game because what you're going to do is you're going to dink and doink your way down the field. When I was at Whitehall, we didn't have a tight end. We couldn't run the ball that one year, and so we experimented, and what we decided to do is throw 2-yard passes, let the receiver fall down, and he got 4 yards on the fall down, and we were 2nd and 4, and made us look like geniuses. So sometimes you don't need the running game, although you really do. It's in most cases, to be honest with you, you need it to balance your offense up, to keep the defense honest. 4th down, and Notre Dame from midfield will be punting away. There's a wobbler, and it's going to hit at the 45 to the 40-yard line of Penn Argyl, and it's going to be down at around the 37, and the Green Knights will take over 1st and 10. I want to say hello to Bobby and Junie Rich. Talk about Notre Dame history and years ago. Junie Rich, a part of that. They're over at, they're in the security force at the Northampton County Courthouse. Nice bunch of people. There's McAvoy's kick. Gets a piece of it.
Whoops.
Gets a piece of it.
Should
He's going to have to get that ball off a little bit quicker.
And be an actor, too. Perhaps take a dive on that one and see if he can get the call. Got it actually at the 23-yard line. Penn Argyl, Bortz, Mike going to keep the ball straight ahead. He loves this. 30, 35, 40, 43-yard line, and another 1st down for Penn Argyl.
Tell you what, he finds the seam. That's the athlete. Coach Sampson, you know, he's got to be thrilled with this kid. He's the kind of kid, he's a senior, but you don't want to see him leave your program, but he's going to make you look like a real good coach. And this Mike has done a real good job. If you watch him when he reads the seam, hits the seam, and when he gets the seam, accelerates through there and turns his shoulders north and south and off to the races.
Well, of course, this is the time of year when rumors start flying all over the place about coaches leaving, coming, going. And we'll just have to wait and see at the end of the year and see if there are any changes. 1st down at the 44. Bortz kind of fakes the pitch back to the running back over the 50 to the 45, 44-yard line. Oh, man.
Wow, it just makes people miss. Wow. This kid, he's really an exciting kid to watch. I'm sure that when he gets home at night, he's pretty darn sore. Let's watch the replay. Watch, just a quick fake toss. Missed there. 2 tackles, 3, 4. And then finally the 5th guy on the side. When you see guys going down on their knees and missing tackles, that means that the athlete's doing something to make you miss.
Well, I like him and Tim Hicks. You saw how shifty he was against Catasauqua, and his head would go one way, the hips would go the other, and very, very impressive. At the Notre Dame 45, Hicks gets the ball. Look at this, twisting, turning, and pushing ahead for about 2 or 3 more after the tackle.
Yeah, Hicks is a tough kid. Again, can play in any league in the Lehigh Valley, too. Those Penn Argyl kids up top, I know up north there, they're tough kids. Just simple handoff, it's just a little counter action. They pull the backside guard and tackle, and Hicks gets up into the hole for about a 2-yard gain. Not probably what Coach Sampson wanted, but he'll take it. It's a positive.
2nd and 9. There's your score up top. Time remaining to the left. 2nd quarter action. Bortz pitches it right out to Hicks. Timmy running to the sidelines, going to run out of room and be buried back there for a 5-yard loss.
Yeah, that time they ran to the field, and Notre Dame does a tremendous job defending that. That's a real good job forcing Hicks to go east and west. Watch right here. They just they're stringing it out, stringing it out, stringing it out. And T.J. Daly does a real good job of coming up and getting his chest on Hicks and taking him down. You're being attacked by those flies?
Yeah. The rats weren't, it's bad enough we have the rats, but these flies are as big as the rats.
You would think that the flies would be dead by now. That's the Halloween, Amityville.
They come back to life.
Help me, help me.
Help me, help me. Bortz finds out to the sideline, and it's caught, and it's going to be a touchdown. There's a flag on the play. Steve Waring. Does it count?
I don't know. It's going to be interesting on if it's an offensive. I don't see Pete Koenig putting his hands up saying touchdown, and he's bringing the ball all the way back. That's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. They might have offensive interference this time. Yes, they do.
Oh, wow.
Yes, yeah, from the distance and the height we're at, it's hard to see. Have to watch this one on replay, see what happened there.
Porch made didn't try to hide where he was going, just took the ball, faded back, and saw Waring, and the big guy picked it off and took it in the end zone. Offensive.
On the offense, 15 yards from the line of scrimmage and lost it down. 4th down.
Wow.
That's a tough penalty in high school. Let's see what happens here. Porch airs it out.
Yeah, maybe. with the arm pushing over the shoulder. Yeah.
Well, we see things different here than they see down there.
So you go from the score to losing a down, brings up 4th down, 15-yard penalty, and then you have to punt. Talk about penalties hurting. Wow. Here is a nice boot, and it's picked up by TJ and then dropped. And finally, it's going to be called dead at that spot. 1st down, Notre Dame.
Tell you what, this game's moving along at a nice pace, considering that the throws. These are two good athletic football teams. I can see why they're both 5-3. And you know, Northern Lehigh and Saucon Valley, I saw them play in the Monsoon a couple weeks ago. Right now, they are the creme de la creme of the Colonial League. But these two teams are really two good athletic football teams.
Ball at the Notre Dame 24-yard line, and this is where they're going to start it. Kranick gets the call, across the 30, 34-yard line. Nice gain on the play. Almost enough for a 1st down. We'll see on the spot. Sure looks like a 1st down, though.
Again, a little cross action, counter action out of the shotgun. Again, when you're in the shotgun, the defense is back there. They're thinking pass, and all of a sudden you're handing the ball off on some kind of counter action and a nice 10-yard gain. Nice play.
It is a 1st down for Notre Dame. That's their 5th. 6 minutes remaining 1st half. Still 7-0. Again, Julian winds up, fires over in the corner. Incomplete. It was intended for Del Vecchio. Paul not able to take it off the top of the ground, and it's going to be 2nd down. Not a bad 1st half by Julian.
No, I'm writing something here. I'm sorry.
7 for 10 in passing.
I'm scribing.
What's that guy's name? Never mind. Julian fires out into the flat. Completed pass. And getting driven out of bounds for Notre Dame is number 9, and that's Tom Van Sickle.
Real nice little swing pass, and good enough for him to get to the boundary, and he's going to run that ball up for a 1st down. Let's watch here. A little swing pass to the outside. Good downfield block, and we still have still blocking down there. Notre Dame's number 18, Paul Del Vecchio's down there, and he's still blocking, which is going to get you that extra yardage.
Nice to talk to Dave Brown, first-year head coach here at Notre Dame. First chance for yours truly to meet him. Nice young man, good coach. Got a bright future if he stays with it. Of course, Eric Sampson, always great to see Coach Sampson. There's a pickup of about 2.
Yeah, both coaches are real good football people. They're good for kids, good for high school football. Both of them true gentlemen in the game, as most coaches are in the Lehigh Valley. I was probably the only guy that wasn't a gentleman out there.
2nd down and 8. Ball at the 45-yard line. Julian will stand at the 40. Lines up. Boy, look at that, the arrow under that ball. And it's incomplete to Del Vecchio on the far sideline. But boy, he can air it out, Coach Kenny.
Yeah, he sure can. That was a good coverage, too, by Penn Argyl. What they did is they ran a flat pattern with the inside and a fly pattern with the outside guy, and Jillian puts the ball right on the numbers. That's as good, but that's great coverage by Penn Argyl. I think that's what number 6. I think that's Ruggiero out there. That's covering him. Yeah, he does a real good job covering the receiver.
Second down.
What Notre Dame does is a double slot shotgun offense with one back. That's a lot of heat on the secondary.
Julian fires, completed pass. Del Vecchio, his favorite receiver, and that should be enough for a first down.
Again, a little curl pattern. One of the hardest patterns to cover in football is a curl pattern. And what you're doing, ladies and gentlemen, is you're running a straight pattern at the secondary, and it's going to be 8 back to 6, 10 back to 8, 12 back to 10. What you're going to do is you're going to stop and you're going to turn and come back to the quarterback 2 yards and close the distance between the ball. And that's hard to defend.
4.5 minutes remaining in the first half. The ball at the Penn Argyl 44-yard line. Notre Dame now. Pass by Jillian to the corner and simply overthrown. And it was intended for number 11, and that's Matt Walsh.
Yeah, and Timmy Hicks has real good coverage on that. So the fly patterns are taken away. Where Notre Dame is having success is on those curl and those dig patterns and the choice patterns that we talked about earlier. That's it's simple patterns, and they're very hard to defend because you come back to the football all the time.
Yellow hanky out on the field.
Yellow rain, as I used to call it.
Yellow rain. Holding apparently against Notre Dame.
You know what? The other thing I don't understand in with referees, I know this is like one of those rules, but why don't they just ask the coach what you want to do? They're out there talking to captain. Captain's looking at the coach. Coaches ask the assistants what we want to do. The assistants
holding
saying,
on the offense. 10 yards from the spotted foul. Repeat the down. First down.
You make the call. Then you got to make the call. Signal it back to the kid. He's got to tell the referee. And it's like, why don't they just come over to the coach and say, what do you want, coach?
To me. Second down for Notre Dame. They lose 10 yards thanks to that penalty, and it's now 1st and 22 at their own 44. Julian looking for a big play. Back to the 35, squares his shoulders away, goes to the sideline, and he got his man at the 25-yard line. Completed pass to Chris Lewis. A big play and a big first down.
Yeah, watch this pattern. I called this one a trail pattern. They're really nice. They're really nice patterns. And there's also a penalty down.
Oh, not again. Not again.
He might have did something after the play. The catch is going to be good, and then they're going to penalize him after the.
Well, that'll give Notre Dame a first down, but let's see Tom Little trying to talk this out. Yeah, okay, yeah, okay, sure, should we do that? Yeah, right, okay, you got that right, okay. Yep, you too, yep.
And the coach is in there saying, who are you? Let me look at that. Let's find out who you are. Because I'm telling you guys, this is ridiculous. What you say to officials, and I got to admit, for the money they get, they hear some things.
Unsportsmanlike.
On blue.
Let's see why. Good catch. Ah, okay. We have the good catch. Okay. One of the things in that's on. You don't do that.
Okay.
You don't do that. Okay. I'm sorry. You don't do that.
That'll go against Notre Dame.
See, this is the TO stuff. This is the stuff. As a high school coach, it's tough to try to get these kids to be disciplined because they watch these $1 million crybabies do all this crap all the time. And now you got to bring it down to the high school level, and you got to discipline these kids while they're watching these guys out there do all this stuff. These guys are great athletes in the NFL, but I wish they got to stop this, like, first down.
Well, the next time, the first time we see, here's a pass out the flat, incomplete. First time we see a player score a touchdown and go over and rip off some kind of sign from the other team, then we know we're in trouble.
Yeah, you know what? It's inevitable that it's going to happen. These kids are impressionable. NFL on Sunday. They watch all this stuff like that. And then what ends up happening, it makes your job as a head coach. You got to say no to these kids. Someone has to say no.
Right.
And it's up to the high school kids. I think the Marines can't even say no anymore.
Obviously, nobody said T.O. Anything to T.O. I know it's good stuff, and people in the media love to eat that stuff up, but it's really garbage. I mean, what he does, I don't care how great of a player he is. Here's a pass over the middle, incomplete, strip from Del Vecchio, and that'll bring up a third down.
No, you don't want to beat this subject to death, but again, the bad part is that these guys get away with it, and then you try to do it in the high school, and it just time you threw a little bit behind, and now we're in a 3rd and 10 situation.
Maybe Reed should just tell T.O. next time you do that, next time you show off and make a jerk out of yourself, you're going to sit for a game.
Nah, it won't happen.
But
he gets $9 million, and Andy gets $1 million.
Yeah.
Do the math.
Well, actually, 9 versus 5 now for my understanding.
Right. But
Still
do the math.
Sure. Julian back to pass. Going to go to the sidelines, and it's intercepted. Coming up, Steve Waring. And that kills that drive real quick. Nice interception, Steve Waring.
Yeah, they went to the well too often on that one, and Waring's sitting there, and he's just waiting on it. He's gonna step in front and make that. Do we have more yellow on more yellow, Rain?
Yes, we do. There it is. Well, here we go now with conversation time. Now we have to bring another part of the brain trust in here. How many guys it takes to unscrew a bulb? Okay.
I think what they're trying to do is let's get it right. Again, let's get this thing right.
We have personal foul, roughing the passer against White, 15 yards, first down.
Oh, boy, these are huge penalties.
Wow. And they're uncalled for penalties. There are things that drive you nuts as a coach. Let's see. Okay, he has to release. I don't see it yet, but let's see here. Stay with it. Yeah, he took him to the ground. Yep.
Good pass, good interception. Pass negated in the sense that the interception by Waring does not count. Penn Argyl will not get the ball. Notre Dame retains it. They're 15 yards further down the field. They'll get a first down. They continue to have the football. That on the basis of one hit. All right, let's go with the Kraus Dodge trivia question of the game. And I don't think too many people will probably pick this up except maybe some Notre Dame fans. But the question is, what two Notre Dame players hold the all-time record for the longest rushing touchdown in Notre Dame high school history?
Oh, Notre Dame High School. I thought it was Murky Waters and Paul Horning.
No, right here. Tony Corey's probably going, I know that one.
Does he win the car?
Yeah. Get a diamond ring if you get the answer right. Diamonique worth nothing. There's a handoff in the middle, straight ahead, and the big guy, Nate Kranick, just bulls and bears his way 10 yards for a first down. 8th first down for Notre Dame, and a good move by the Crusaders.
Yeah, he does a real good job here. Again, there's the guard pulling. He seals off the linebacker. Kranick gets into the hole. He carries the ball and does a real nice job. We saw Catasauqua do this to Penn Argyl a couple weeks ago, and so there must be some kind of weak that particular part of the Penn Argyl.
First down for Notre Dame. 3.5 minutes remaining. 13-yard line. Handoff again. Guess who? They just know who to hand the ball to. It's not Dan Tavani this year, but rather Nate Kranick, and he picks up 5 more.
Yeah, what I saw that time is Penn Argyl's over pursuing on the defensive line there. They just came in, Notre Dame left them in, and then it's a delay handoff, and Kranick's just taking the ball on a delay handoff and going right up into between the tackles in the tough area. 2nd
down and 7 for the Crusaders. Under 3 minutes remaining first half. And Notre Dame knocking on the door to try to tie this thing. The ball at the 10-yard line. Julian says, let me get behind the center. Goes back, looks, turns, goes toward the corner of the end zone, and it's incomplete. Paul Del Vecchio, the intended receiver.
Yeah, he threw that ball where no one else is going to get it but Del Vecchio. but he just threw it a little bit too long. Say right now he should release it, which he does. Brings the ball down just a little bit too far. This is a tough area to throw the pass because you got the 10 yards. People think this is so easy down here, but it really is. You shorten the field down. The defenders know how far they have to go, and so they can press you a little bit, and you have to be really on target.
Ball at the 9. They have to go to about the 2 to get a first down. Julian goes to the corner. Del Vecchio turned right when he was supposed to turn left. Incomplete.
Now, they go for the field goal and getting points on the board, or is this going to be one of those, we're going to try to tie it up?
What do you think, Coach?
You know what? Well, he's going for the field goal, but you know what? Yeah, I would have taken the field goal. I'll be honest. Good call. See, I'm torn right now because sometimes when you're 5-3 fighting for a playoff spot, you just say, hey, let's let it hang out, boys. Let's let our hair down and let's go. Let's go after him. Good call. Get the points.
McAvoy back at the 15, which will make it a 25-yard attempt. Here comes the snap. Delay, but the boot is up, and it looks plenty good to me. It is. And with 2:23 remaining in the first half, it's now Penn Argyl 7, Notre Dame 3. Here's Tony Coca.
Again, I was watching him kick before the game, and I'll tell you what, kid has a real strong, strong leg there, and he's going to be good from everywhere on the field. Right now, what you got is a great chess match going, and what's killing both teams is those unsightly penalties, the penalties that are those undisciplined type penalties, the unsportsmanlike, the taunting, the roughing the passer. Those are the things right now that are keeping from Penn Argyl having a 14-point lead and letting Notre Dame back in the game with 7-3. So what coaches are both have to do, their adjustment at halftime is probably to sort of put it in their ear of their team that they got to settle down and they got to discipline themselves a little bit and not make the dumb mistake that's going to keep the other team in the ball game.
Do you see the U-boats coming over?
Oh, there. See the clouds coming in over here.
All right.
This is Spartan conditions.
And who's that? Not Lloyd Price. He made that record personality with Vincent Price. Here's McAvoy.
We did the mash. We did the monster mash.
Here's McAvoy's boot, and it's a short one again.
That's going to be out of bounds, and this is going to hurt big time.
Dick Tracy would say that's a pooch punt or a pooch kick.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, since the ball didn't go to the 35 where they normally would get it, it's a 15-yard penalty from there. That could put the ball on the 50, or they take it where it went out of bounds because it wouldn't be on the 35. I don't know the rule book. That's why I always argue with the officials. It's great when you don't know the rules and you're arguing with them. They say, Coach, that's not a high school rule. And you go, oh, never mind.
And that's referee
Tommy Little.
He's a good guy.
Yes, he is. Tommy's my softball assigner in the summer when I umpire, so I got to be nice to Tommy.
Oh, Tom calls him right all the time.
Tommy has never gotten anything wrong.
Exactly. As Jay Leonard would say, exactly. First down at the 45-yard line. Borch says, boy, this is great field position to start. Gives me lots of running room, and he's going to run. And he gets back to the line of scrimmage +2.
Up, here we go again.
Another flag.
Again, it's in the face, a little face mask. It's pushing, just the little things. You can't do that. It's the second guy that's going to get caught all the time. I was watching it up here. Just not a very smart play. For Penn Argyl, a very smart play. For Notre Dame, not a real smart play.
Dave Brown probably very upset with little plays like that just have killed him tonight. And let's take a look at it.
Now, Notre Dame does a good job defending this. The linebacker stays home.
Dead ball, personal foul, on blue, 15 yards, first down.
Gotcha.
Nate Kranick stays home, makes a good play, and then it's because two linemen are going to belly bump each other. And now what happens is a 15-yard penalty and makes Penn Argyl in a better position with 2:13 on the clock. This is why you go nuts. This is what costs you your villa in France.
At the 48-yard line, Notre Dame's 48. Bortz back to the 45, winds up, fires, and it is incomplete at the 25.
That was a real good play offensively and then a real good play defensively. The receiver beats on the seam pattern. The ball's thrown up. He goes up to the highest point, and the Notre Dame defender comes in there before the receiver can pull the ball down and breaks it up. Let's watch this. It's going to be a fly pattern. There it is. It's a post. The post is caught high, and then what happens is he's bringing the ball down, and Notre Dame defender number 28, Brian Jung, he breaks the ball out of that grass. Good play, both sides.
Second down and 10. Bortz again, goes to the sideline, turns, looks, fires, and intercepted at the 45-yard line. Coming up, Tom Van Sickle.
And again, what it was a simple out. It was a simple out pattern, but the cornerback was sitting on that pattern, and when Bortz, he sort of underthrows it low, and it's an easy INT. Watch, here we go, semi-roll. He's sitting on it, breaks in front of the ball because it's thrown behind him, and it's an easy interception for number 9 from Notre Dame, Tom Van Sickle. Good play by Tom. Not a real good play by Michael on that. He wants that one back. He knows it.
First and 10 with 1:47 remaining first half. 4 points separate these two teams. Julian going to air it out to the sideline. Incomplete. And intended for Del Vecchio. As Steve Waring, the Notre Dame side, says, hey, where's that bump? Where's the call? Look at them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Notre Dame coaches saying, hey.
And the official's not listening. He's saying, yeah. And, next thing he's going to say to the coach, get off the field, get back. They always say it, get back. It's the get back rule.
Second down and 10 for Notre Dame.
Again, I don't want to be a coach, but if I'm Notre Dame, I got to go back to the dig patterns and the choices. That was where they were moving the ball down the field.
Julian gets it out to the sideline, coming to the 50-yard line. Ooh, wow. Tim Hicks comes up.
Stays in bounds. It's going to be third and about 8 or 4 or 6, about third and 6. There you go. Nick's going back, or Jillian's going back, throws the ball out. Little swing pass, and just can't get to the boundary. We got a timeout by somebody here.
Brian Jung on option, and it is timeout, Penn Argyl. 90 seconds or thereabouts remaining in the first half. Pretty good football game, Coach Coca.
Yeah, it is. A very entertaining football game. I like this. This is it's offense. I don't want to say offensive. It's an offensive type game that's exciting, but the defense is doing enough to keep them from blowing it away.
All right, the Kraus Dodge trivia question of the game is, what two Notre Dame players hold the all-time record for the longest rushing touchdown? That's Notre Dame of Green Pond, and the answer is John Gardosky in 1957 and Billy Fretz in 1996. Both scored touchdowns on 99 yards from their own one into the end zone.
They can't go further than 99 yards.
No.
That's one of those rules that the ball's at the 1-inch line, but it's 99 yards.
Exactly. At midfield, second down for Notre Dame. Julian again itching for one big, huge play. Winds up, fires over the mid, incomplete to Del Vecchio. And Paul's looking at the umpire back there and saying, hey, got a hand and then push and shove me.
Let's see what happens here, or if it's just good defense.
And that's Ruggiero on the defensive effort. Watch it.
Good throw. I like his ball. Throws a real nice spiral. That's a good defensive play.
Okay.
That's a good defensive play. Let's give some credit to the defense. They got to do a good job every now and then too. And that time, Ruggiero does a real good job.
Fourth down. That's okay. McAvoy will stand back at the Notre Dame 38 and punt this baby away. There it is. Ball bounces. Picked up by Waring. Across the 20, 27 and out of bounds. Oh, look at that. They're still angry at the side judge. They gave him a hard time before, and they're still on his back. What's going on down there? There's Dan Brown coming over and saying, having a few words, but smiling.
Don't listen to the head coach. It's the assistants that get like, shut up, coach, you know. Let's see what happens. Oh, they're saying there's a clip there. Yeah. He's vehement.
Oh, look at that. Woo! In the lion's den. First down. Bortz going all the way back. Doesn't find anybody, so what does he do? He runs 30, 35, 40, 43-yard line and knocked down.
And I think we're going to time out Penn Argyl. Again, he's looking to pass, pulls the ball down. Everybody's taking off on a deep zone or man coverage, and Bortz is good enough athlete to gain about 20 yards on that.
Okay, 7th first down for Penn Argyl in the first half. Delighted to be with you here tonight. Hope you enjoy. Now we're with our second evening. Tomorrow, of course, we will have the Northampton-Becca High game for you tomorrow night. Dick and Tony.
Yeah, I'll be down on the field. We're doing the grunt work.
Yep. And next Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock, we'll have Wilson for the Notre Dame Wilson yearly finale in the regular season.
I'm looking forward to that.
Let's go, baby, let's go!
Let's go again, boys! 2 times I was supposed to have Wilson. Something happened. I got pulled off the job. I think it was rain, and then I went up to see Copen play one weekend, so I took a weekend off from boring the people out there on RCN land.
Well, you know, the one nice thing about Wilson, and you can appreciate this, their high school, the high school buildings and the stadium and everything makes for a college setting. It looks like a campus, a big, huge college campus. Very lovely area, great school district. And, of course, Bob Frankenfield, their assistant AD, head basketball coach over there, looking for a great year. Here's Bortz going to wind up and go to DeFelice, and he's got him at the 30-yard line, and that's a huge first down for Penn Argyl.
Yeah, what that is that Bortz is getting hit as he throws the ball, and he actually underthrows DeFelice, and the defenders are all running deep, and DeFelice puts the brakes on, and he comes back and he catches the ball. That old stop fade.
First down for Penn Argyl. They'll spike the ball with a few seconds remaining in the first half, and that'll bring up a second down.
Yeah, watch this. Watch. He's going to get hit. It's a delivery sack, and then the ball gets underthrown to the outside, and as the receivers are running, what happens, DeFelice puts the brakes on, comes back. In football, that's called stop fade. Okay, you're going to be going, you're running a fade, you're trying to stretch the defense, all of a sudden put on the brakes, and the ball's thrown a little bit short. The defender just overruns it. Probably Bill Walsh invented it like everything else.
Second down for Penn Argyl. 35 seconds remaining. Bortz again. Pumps, fires toward the sideline. Caught! Touchdown! Whoa! Steve Waring.
Wow, that's a real nice play. That's a big receiver going over a smaller D-back. Here you go. Bortz puts the ball where no one's going to catch it. It's actually great defense by the Notre Dame person. He just is about 2 inches too short, and it just goes up and grabs the ball. So Stephen Waring makes a real nice catch. 6'3" against Jung, who's 5'9". Brown Bob.
The Brown Gob, Allentown Volvo, Lehigh Valley Volvo dealers here present the point after touchdown. The extra point is good, and with 33 seconds remaining in the first half, Penn Argyl picks up a big touchdown. They lead 14-3.
That was just a simple case of a basketball rebound, a 6'3" going against the 5'9". So he's given away, let me see if I do my math right, 6 inches, plus with the vertical leap and the arms and all that stuff. You put the ball up there, it's like Shaquille O'Neal going against Tony Coca. Ain't a contest.
That's
a bad analogy, by the way.
Yeah.
That's a terrible analogy. I mean, I'm as big as his kneecap, you know.
He's a huge individual.
Well, he should have been a tight end.
He could have played football, well, you never know.
I'm sure he might have, I'm sure there's some high school coach saying, come out for football. And he's saying, Basketball. Basketball. See, what's nice about basketball, it's always 72 degrees. They're never worry about rain. And I know I'm offending all the round ball people out there, but
it's okay.
This is what it's about. Elements. You fight the elements. You fight from outside. The flies, the bees.
Real men play football. And here comes Notre Dame. And that is T.J. Daly straight ahead to about the 15-yard line. And that's where Notre Dame has it, first down and 10. 3. Penn Argyl with a big touchdown with less than a minute remaining.
That was big. That was big. And
Yes, it was.
It's going to be interesting here what Notre Dame, what Mr. Brown, Coach Brown does here, because he's going to have to take a look at it and see, do I want to try to get some points here? And he's spreading the field.
Ball at the 28 for a first and 10. 29 seconds remaining. Hand off to, well, you know who. Nate Krennic coming through for about 5. It's their 10th rush of the first half for
And
Notre
I think
Dame.
Coach Brown's just going to go in the locker room saying, look, it's 7-3. Let's make the adjustments. I think they get the ball for the second half. So real good half of football, ladies and gentlemen. 2 entertaining offenses and 2 well-coached defenses going at it, and looking forward to the second half. I think it's going to be a barn burner.
We're at Notre Dame High School, and at halftime, Penn Argyl Green Knights lead Notre Dame 14-3. Tony and I will be back with our halftime show in a moment.
Scott Family Transportation Center rolls out thousands in savings on America's favorite vehicles. Drive a 2004 Chevy Aveo for just $109 a month, and you own the car. Lease a 2005 Chevy Equinox all-wheel drive LS, just $239 a month. Scott makes the deal even better with $500 instant value coupons. Supplies are limited, so shop now. Scott Family Transportation Center, just off I-78 on the Lehigh Street Auto Mile.
Let's go get Yakult. You know it's always been the best. Let's go get Yakult with quality that beats the rest. They got cheesesteaks, French fries. The famous Yakult hot dog is known worldwide. Let's go get Yakult. The secret sauce is one of a kind.
Yakko's, an Allentown tradition.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Notre Dame High School Marching Band.
The color guard instructor is Mr. W. Ron Cowart. This year's student officers are Drum Major Kateri Swavely, President Katie Heilbrook, Commanding Officer Corinne Woolley, the Secretary Tom Cherry, Librarian Emily Henley, Quartermasters Casey Clemente and Brian Tannhauser, Historian Danielle Padula, Color Guard Captains Sarah Cliff, Amanda Haney, and Michelle Lynch. This evening, the marching unit will perform their 2004-2005 field show entitled At Evening's Gate. All arrangements have been done by Neil Bumpani and Charles A. Dumbry. All original drill design have been composed by William Spellman. Tonight's selections will be In the Hall of the Mountain King by Edward Grieg, Hung Up by original Louisiana funk band Salt, The Abduction, Ingrid's Lament by Edward Grieg, and for March to the Scaffold by Hector Berlioz. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for your halftime entertainment, under the field command of Drum Major Kateri Swavely, the Notre Dame High School Crusader Marching Unit. warm round of applause for the Notre Dame High School Crusader Marching Unit.
You have just seen the Notre Dame High School Marching Band, and we will be back with second half football action in just a moment.
Hey, football fans! If you love dealing with a winning team, head to the leader, Kleckner's in Whitehall and Emmaus, featuring GE washers and dryers, GE dishwashers, GE microwaves, GE ranges, GE refrigerators. Plus, Kleckner's features free delivery, backed by their own factory-trained service department. Hurry in for best selections. Make us your last stop and see the savings on new GE appliances at Kleckner's, 2177 MacArthur Road in Whitehall and 575 Chestnut Street, Emmaus.
We are back with second half. Well, actually, it's our halftime show. I want to remind you that the Allentown Mazda Volvo and Brown Dog Volvo dealers present high school football, and they've been with us for the past couple of weeks, and we thank them very much. I sat in the Volvo the other day, and I want to tell you, wow, that's the only word I can use. So if you're looking for a new car, the Volvo dealers will take good care of you, and they got great cars. Okay, Coach Coca, 14-3, and these are what the halftime stats look like. Your comments?
Yeah, well, you can see the first down's pretty well even. Passing isn't that far off, although Penn Argyl has a little bit of an edge by about 40 yards. Rushing, I think both teams rushed the ball real well. Okay, and you know, we have 500% for Penn Argyl, and you know, we're almost 500% for Notre Dame. Equal game. One fumble that Penn Argyl they recovered. I think the key here, not even the punting in that, is the penalties. Those penalties, 3 for 35, 2 for 30, don't look like a lot, but they came in like unopportune times, if that's the word, I guess, out there, that they just made some dumb mistakes at some dumb times.
Okay.
It was a very, let's say, even first half. I mean, I think the mistakes and the penalties were not the mistakes, the penalties, those mistakes were the difference between the, at least with the second touchdown.
Okay, and our top lady in the truck, Angela, put together a bunch of highlights from the first half, and here is the beginning of those highlights.
Yeah, this is the first pass, and it's in the back of the end zone. We thought he was in, but Pete Koenig says he's not. He has a better angle than we have. Doesn't make it, but they get the ball down on this catch right here. Big receiver catches the ball, falls into the end zone. Again, they roll him down on the 1 foot line, and then they're going to take it in for the first touchdown. Here's the second touchdown pass where there was pass interference, offensive pass interference that took that ball away, moved that ball back. Now what we have here is a simple fake dive one way, and then we have Bortz running the ball the other way. Has a real good game. He's definitely an athlete, definitely a kid that I would like to have on my team. Here he throws a nice fade pattern over the head in number 34. Waring catches the ball and goes in for the score. Here's the field goal. Watch this. Boof, look out. That's my 9-iron. That's the way I lay it down on the green. Get it close. That kid can kick the ball. And here we got the Bortz throwing the ball at the end on that fade stop, and they get themselves down in position. And again, with 28 seconds to go before halftime, Bortz settles back, and he's going to throw the ball up in the air, and we got 6'3" versus 5 foot. Not going to get a touchdown there from Wary making a catch there. So yeah, very entertaining game. I'm looking forward to the second half. I'm sort of get used to our bunker here.
With the boogeyman inside.
Yes. I left you alone for a little bit of halftime. I had to come back.
Very unnerved by all of the fact that I was alone here, and I was waiting for the light bulb to go out, and then Freddy Krueger to start laughing.
Yeah.
Yes, and then singing Boogeyman to the people in the truck. I'm your Boogeyman. Oh, yes, I am.
And ladies and gentlemen out there and Notre Dame people, we're just, we like to have fun here, and I'll tell you what, these are like Spartan conditions. We are in the bunker.
Yep. I hope you're enjoying this one after the Easton Liberty football game tonight. We remind you that we'll be back tomorrow. Lafayette, by the way, is off tomorrow. That is their bye week, resting up and getting ready for a huge game against Colgate. My guess is Colgate will beat Lehigh on Saturday, and that will set up the Lafayette-Colgate game, which will be the biggest game of the year. You'll see it right here on RCN4 a week from Saturday. And then, of course, tomorrow night we'll have the Becca High Northampton game.
Yeah,
all right.
Coach Devaney has those Leopards playing some real
good
doesn't
football. He, though?
Yes, he does. He's a good coach.
Well, we know he can't dance worth a hoot, but you see that little jump, hit, the hop, skip, and the little thing?
Yeah, he's not going to play against Shaquille either.
No. All right, number 3, Victor Macherski is going to boot this one away. High end over end. Taken. Back to the 30-yard line, and that's where Notre Dame is going to set up shop, 1st and 10, and the ball carrier was Chris Lewis. 1st and 10 for Notre Dame, trailing 14-3.
It's going to be interesting to see what kind of adjustments Coach Brown made here, if he's going to come out running the ball or if he's going to come out throwing those dig and choice patterns that he was so successful in the first quarter. So I guess in about 5-6 seconds we're going to find out.
Notre Dame and Penn Argyl both at 5-3 on the year, and I think no matter what happens the remaining tonight and next weekend, it's been a successful year from the standpoint of both coaches. In the backfield, no gain on the play.
If I'm Coach Brown, I got to say it's very successful. I mean, considering he lost his first 2 and has now come back to a 5-3 record. That time they tried to run a little bit of a delay, and what happens is Penn Argyl's playing a 52 defense out there with a cover 2 look. And we're just going to wrap Jillian up, and he's not going to get very far.
You know, you were right. If there's a Division 2 or 3 school that's looking for a quarterback that a quarterback coach can mold into what he wants the young man to be, this Julian fellow is going to be an outstanding catch. Here's a pass out on the flat to the 25, 30-yard line. Van Sickle gets to the 35 and the 40 and the 41-yard line, and he'll pick up a 1st down in the process.
Now, you don't see it here, but I'll tell you what, watching that play up here, Penn Argyl runs a stunt off of the corner. We'll probably see it on the replay, so watch the right side of your screen, ladies and gentlemen. Number 25 is coming on a stunt. There he is. And then what happens is that is the hot receiver. He's throwing the ball to replace where the defensive back left. He gets out in open field and makes real nice run. So what we're looking at here is we're looking at Van Sickle make a nice open field run, and that was a real good read by Jillian because it's a hot read, and he gets the ball to the receiver.
Okay, 1st down and 10 for Notre Dame. And this is a very important possession for the Crusaders. Hand off to Nick Kranick, and he'll get across the 40 to the 42, 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
I think the key for Coach Brown right now is, A, to take this ball and drive it down and score. I think that's something he has to do. But I think he also has to send a message to Penn Argyl that we can run the ball or throw the ball so that they can play a more balanced-up defense and not cheat towards the run or cheat towards the pass, which I think, you prepare for all week.
This ought to be a very good week for you because tonight is Halloween, and you'll be able to watch Jason and Friday the 13th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 and 7. You could be up all night eating your potato chips and enjoying it. Van Sickle across the 40, 45, 48-yard line. Good move by Van Sickle.
Yeah, real good move. He runs a little bit of an option room. Van Sickle's a real good runner out in space there. Put him out in space, and that's where you really separate the wheat from the chaff. And there's a simple option play, good blocking downfield, and it's good for an 8-yard gain. Oh, I love those horror movies. I would just stay up until 3 in the morning and down there, and the dog's barking at nothing, and you hear the dishes move.
Wind's blowing outside.
Oh, love it.
And Jason's walking around with his mask, and nobody's able to kill him. And here's a handoff to Kranick and Nick for about 2 to midfield. And that could be very close to the 1st down.
And that's all him. That's all him. That was second effort. That was not real good blocking at the point of attack. And then what happens is that he simply wiggles out of that, and he gets a real good gain. I think Tommy's going to have to call the change, and I'm going to say that he made it. And I got 65 Penn Argyl guys standing in front of the thing, but I'm looking down here at the other side, and he's going to make it by the stripe on the foot. I'd call for a measurement. Oh, well.
4th and 1, so apparently not.
All right, apparently not. Shows you what I know. That's why I'm up here.
Yep, need to get those glasses straightened out. Here is Julian straight ahead. And now this one should get them the first down. Some of the Penn Argyl players are saying, no, I don't think he made it, but Tom says he got it.
Yep,
First down, Notre Dame.
Yep. I got these glasses from Borders.
From Borders?
Borders. He gave me the glasses.
Julian, look at this. Straight ahead.
Yep,
Yes.
just takes it right off the guard. That's really smart. You always go off the guard. Everyone thinks you go right up the center's butt, but you don't. You simply let the center block. The guard comes down. He sort of wedge, what they call a wedge block, and then you fall on top of the guard.
Well, Notre Dame now operating in Penn Argyl territories to start the second half, and they need, as Tony Coca pointed out, they really do need a score here of some kind of points, 3, 6, whatever. Kranick can't reach it. Incomplete. Second down.
That was a real good play by number 14 from Penn Argyl, Devin Coleman. I mean, the kid's a sophomore. He reads the screen, and he drops off into the screen coverage. Watch this. Devin's coming. All of a sudden, he's feeling it. That's something that you got to, you coach that stuff. You got to feel the way the blockers are blocking, and he falls back. He does a real good job. And looking at him, he's 6'4". It's hard to throw the ball over a 6'4" boy.
Second down and 10 out of the gun. Julian will stand back at the 45. Hand off to Kranick. Nate back to the line of scrimmage. Not much more. Third down and 10.
Yeah, that time Penn Argyl's sort of pinching on the outside. Number 51 for Chromiak, Josh Chromiak from Penn Argyl. He comes down the line and makes the tackle right at the mesh point. Now we got third and long. Going to be very interesting. I tell you what, I think like a Muhlenberg Moravian, the Gillian kid, he could definitely play at the Division III level, and it's something that the locals might want to take a look at.
And on the other side, of course, with Mike Bortz, again, good catch for somebody.
Oh, no question, no question. I think what you'll see Bortz in college, I think you might see him as a D-back.
Here is a pass by Julian. It was being dogged in the backfield. Couldn't find anybody, so just let it fly. Incomplete. Going to bring up a fourth down from midfield, and Notre Dame will punt.
Yeah, after he got missed by I think Penn Argyl comes off the corner on what we would call a cowboy. Here comes 25. It's a secondary stunt. He's right there. He should have just gathered himself. He had somebody over the middle. Something that a learning process that a quarterback do. After the guy misses, you got to settle your feet down and look at the field. But here we go. We're punting the ball.
McAvoy from the 38-yard line. High spiral. Going to bounce at the 35-yard line. They'll mark it closer to the 40, and it's going to be 1st and 10 for Penn Argyl.
Yeah, not a real good punt. I think it's got like a net 2.
Early moments of quarter number 3. And the Penn Argyl 14-3 lead.
Yeah, it's going to be. The way Penn Argyl's playing defense, and they're playing a real nice, solid defensive game right now. If they get a score right here, it could be a very uphill battle for Notre Dame to come back to beat them. So let's see what Notre Dame's defense has.
What was your thought, Coach? Did you talk to Dick Tracy about he's getting walloped?
He won't
tell us.
He won't
talk about it?
He won't talk.
Okay. Here's Bortz slipping, losing his footage back at the 35, and down he goes.
I just couldn't believe they lost that. But we were up in the Boston area, and I'll tell you what an exciting time that was when the Yankees, we were up there that time when they went like 93 innings, and it took 64 days to play that game, and it was like 10 degrees below zero in Boston. But I think Kurt Schilling, what an effort, what a pitcher. Another Philly.
Yeah, another former Philly, like manager Francona, a former Philly.
And Rowland.
A former Philly. Back to pass. Bortz fires, complete at the sideline at the 45-yard line to Josh Mellon. And that will get him halfway back, half of those 17 yards back.
Yeah, and that's good because you don't want to, they didn't try to get everything back. You just basically threw like a 6-yard out. Watch, Bortz throws over here. It's a little 6-yard out to his tight end. Tight end turns up the field, and now we're in a third and makeable 3rd and 5.
3rd down and 5. Ball spotted at the 47-yard line of Penn Argyl. Halfway through quarter number 3. Dick, Tony, and I with you. Dick, Tony, and I tomorrow. Northampton, Becca High. Hope you'll join us for that one. Bortz back to pass. Fires to the sideline. Got DeFelice at the 40-yard line, and he's going to be hit and knocked off his pins. And we'll see where the spot is. That should be a first down.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I may be wrong on that one, but about him playing D-back. But I'll tell you what, he does have a good arm. Watch this, ladies and gentlemen. In the shotgun, a semi-roll. He sets the feet. And when you throw to the left a lot of times, it's a lot easier than throwing to the right, because when you throw to the left, it forces you to square your shoulders up. And when a quarterback squares his shoulders up, you get what we call in coaching 4 eyes to the target. He gets 4 eyes to the target, 2 in his head, 1 on his left hip, 1 on his right knee, and he throws the ball, and he throws a real nice ball there, and it's a first down.
At the Notre Dame 45, 1st and 10, with under 6 minutes to go, third quarter. Bortz on the pitch out. There's Hicks across the 35, 30, 25, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Penn Argyl.
And a penalty.
And a flag.
You probably have a hold here on the side. It's usually holding when the side judge throws it. The tight end probably hooks somebody. We'll see on the replay. Penn Argyl coaches don't agree on that, so let's take a look at it. Don't you love it? Don't you love it, love it, love it?
Love it, love it.
Talk about Freddy Krueger. That's what those guys are to their coaches right now. So we got a push in the back.
So instead of a touchdown again?
Nope, a chop block.
Yeah.
Okay, what is it, Tommy? Let's see here.
Here we go. Blocking below the waist. On white. 15 yards, still first down.
Okay, it's going to be option to the right. Here we go, option. There's the pitch. I don't know where it is. I didn't see it.
I think they blew it against DeFelice.
But DeFelice, he was falling down. I mean, he made upper body contact and then fell down to the ground. But again, we got the advantage here because we got the electronics.
Remember that NFL official? I can't remember. Red Cashin, was it?
Yep.
First down.
First down. Now he's doing beer commercials.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I saw him on a commercial. Why? Let's see this. Here's the option. Play. No, I'm not. Well, I'm not going to make a comment.
There it is.
If I make a comment, I'll get fined by the league.
Yes. And what's that word? Your friends will stay away from you. What's that word? You're
ostracized.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't the word, but
No.
that pretty well describes
They
it.
stay away from me anyhow.
Some of the coaching staff at Penn Argyl got to be a little unhappy with losing that touchdown.
I tell you what. Tomorrow, when they watch the film, the official on this sideline is not going to get real high marks on that one. But hey, it's an intangible you can't control. I used to say that to my team. You can't control the official, so you got to put it behind you and go on to the next play.
1st and 20 from the 45-yard line of Penn Argyl. Bortz back to pass. Look at this bullet. Cross the middle, incomplete. Intended for Steve Waring. Now the Penn Argyl folks on this side are saying, hey, where's the interference? Look at this.
Little contact there, but they're not going to get the call. Let's watch this here. And I'll tell you what, Bortz does throw a good ball. He might be a quarterback in college. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to understand, in high school, there is no rule that says uncatchable ball. So if there's interference, there's interference. You know, I used to argue with the officials all the time and say, that was uncatchable. And they say, Tony, there is no rule. And I would go, oh, okay, never mind.
2nd down at the 45, and still actually 23 yards for first. There's the pass out into the flat. And it's a completed pass across the 45.
Nice play. Little slip screen out, little quick screen out there. Just going to pull the tackle. You got the wide receiver out there to make the block. They're going to pull the left tackle to come out, and it's just a real quick screen. We'll probably have this one coming up on replay. I would think. I don't know. Yep, here we come.
Kurt
Here we go.
Fleming.
Watch the tackle. There he goes. 72 goes out. There he is. There 82. That's a real nice play. Just a very simple play, ladies and gentlemen. High school, that's backyard football.
To the Notre Dame 48, 3rd down and 13. Back to pass. Bortz going to fire toward the middle of the field. Is incomplete, almost intercepted. And DeFelice thought he might have been a little manhandled in that crowd. Incomplete pass. Coming up to make the stop for Notre Dame, Chris Lewis.
Yeah, that ball, he throws a nice, both these quarterbacks throw nice tight spirals. Look at that. Wow, those are nice. That one just got thrown a little bit behind, and the receiver has, I mean, the defender has a right to the ball just as the receiver does. So, you know, a lot of times, again, the pointing, the guys throwing with their hands in the air, throw the flag, and you forget, you got to give defense some credit sometime, too.
Here's a fourth down punt.
Nice punt.
Got a drop at the 20, 15, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2-yard line. Penn Argyl downs it. Notre Dame again starts deep in their own territory.
No, I'll tell you what, that's twice the punts have been put inside the 5-yard line.
So Tracy didn't talk to you then, huh, about the
No, he gets in the car. He says, I don't want to talk about it. Slams the door.
I was going to call him after game 1 when Boston won. And then I thought better of it, and I thought, well, you know, they'll probably Yanks will win the next night, and then of course Boston won 2 and 3, and when they won the 7th game, I was itching. The phone was sticking in my hand, and I thought, no, I don't want to lose a friend. Here is straight ahead for a couple of yards to the 5.
Yeah, and that's number 44 going up
Nick
there.
Kranick.
Kranick is doing a good job. Yeah, you got to watch poor Dick. I mean. And then Notre Dame gets beat by BC with no time left. It's like, oy, oy, oy. Suicide watch.
Time to hit the hooch again.
Yep. He's a tough Marine.
2nd down and 6.
See, he got me. I had to shut up because Navy got whooped by Notre Dame, and I was busting them about that. So it shows you where the Navy program is right now, although they're playing Go football. But the Yankees, Dick, told you to root for the Phillies.
And, you know, talk about coaches around here that may not be working in the same place this year, or next year, rather. Here's Kranick again, straight ahead for about 2 more. It's very possible that maybe the Notre Dame coach, Willingham, could very well be looking for work next year.
Yeah, I don't talk to too many Notre Dame alums or people who are Notre Dame fans that are, like, in his corner. I don't know what he does wrong. You know, he's not a real bad coach, but the people that the Notre Dame alum and the fans, they're on his case big time.
Yeah. Well, and Paterno.
Oh,
I mean, I heard a conversation today that somewhere on the internet there was a story that appeared today that a half a dozen parents of some current players of Joe have gone to the AD saying they're going to pull their kids out unless Joe goes.
Yeah, but Joe's the AD.
Yeah, well, that's true, and president probably. Here's carry to the side. Number 28, Brian Jung for about 5 yards.
Yeah, Notre Dame has to do something. They have to score. They're getting out to the 50-yard line pretty easy, and then they sort of fall behind. You know, going back to Joe Paterno, I don't think he's got to leave on his terms. The guy's an icon. He's probably more well-known. Name the president of Penn State University. Nobody knows it. No, the football coach is Joe Paterno, and Joe Paterno's just one of those guys right now that he's just frustrated. He's a good coach, but unfortunately, you know, he's probably not recruited or losing recruits to people all around the country, and there's got to be a reason, and he's got to stop the bleeding that way. That was pretty poor showing by their offense on Saturday.
Yeah, Julian fires over to the side, incomplete, and it was intended for number 21, and that's Chris Lewis.
And I've noticed that Notre Dame has gotten away from the dig patterns, and they're gotten away from the curls and the choices that were so successful earlier in the game. And they've been going to the boundary, and they've been throwing a longer pass. If I'm Coach Brown, I got to maybe take a look, and maybe my coaches upstairs will tell me that, hey, Coach, we got to go back to that intermediate pass, that 5 to 10-yard pass, and work our way down the field that way.
2nd down and 10 for Notre Dame, under 3 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. And the Crusaders really in need of a big-time score here to just stay in contention to have a chance. Julian back to pass, turns, fires, incomplete at the 25-yard line, intended for Del Vecchio.
Yeah, that was what I was talking about. That was a choice pattern, and that was Julian just didn't make a real good throw on that. I'm sure he'd love to have that football back. Let's see, here he comes. He rolls out a little semi there. See, now there's a case where he's rolling to the right, and he doesn't square the shoulders, and the ball either is going to go high or it's going to go low. Again, I always used to like my quarterbacks going to the left, and because they square up and their mechanics get better because they have to. Going to the right, sometimes you lose the little mechanical things, and it causes the ball not to travel in the right direction.
There's a pass completed for a couple of yards across the 21-yard line.
Okay, now it's interesting. It's going to be 4th and about 2. Little rocket screen. Watch, here it comes in the middle. Boom, inside. He's running it back. The linemen are downfield making a block. Oh, great hit.
Wow.
Great hit by number 5, Michael Bortz.
Matt Pulsini. Michael Bortz. Matt Pulsini was the receiver on that play, but it's short of a first down. So with 2 minutes remaining, third quarter, 4th down for Notre Dame. They'll punt it away. McAvoy's punt bounces at the 50-yard line. Waring will take it, and he will be hit at that point. First down for Penn Argyl at their own 48.
Yeah, I think this is a key. This is a key series in this game because if Penn Argyl scores, I think basically it's going to be just chuck and duck for Notre Dame to come out there to try to get back in, and then Penn Argyl gets the ball. They're going to run the ball. I think this is a real key series for the Notre Dame defenses, which has played a really nice football game tonight. Notre Dame's a very nice program. Coach Brown, I might tip my hat to you. You have a real nice program going here.
Well, even the loss tonight and the win next weekend will be 6-4, and that's for a first-year coach. That's not a bad starting point. Here's Bortz, fakes the pitch out. Keeps it at the 50, breaks a tackle, 45, 40, 35, 34-yard line, finally stacked up at the far side of the field, and that will be another first down for Penn Argyl.
Yeah, the Bortz is just the athlete. I mean, he's just a real good athlete, a real good find up in the Penn Argyl area. And, you know, you watch it on that one, he's just going to take it. Here we go. It's a shotgun snap. It's going to be sort of like it's an option. He fakes. There's a hole inside 54. Doesn't make a real good effort there to make the tackle. And Bortz gets outside and he gains himself a first down.
My guess is he's going to be over 100 yards tonight without too much difficulty. And if that's the case, he is going to be over 950 for the year. And he'll have over 1,000 yards for a high school quarterback in rushing. Not bad. Completed pass to Mellum is good. And Penn Argyl continues to move the football.
Yeah, now that time what Notre Dame does, they stunt. They bring about 5 or 6 people. Watch this. Here they come. Here comes 54. Here comes 42. And watch, right there sitting in the middle. Waring sitting in the middle. Boom. And it's just a pass that's going to find the zone that's been vacated by the stunning linebackers. It's one of those, if you guess right, you look good. If you guess wrong, you know, you look bad. It's really one of those hit and miss things. Notre Dame's trying to put pressure on Bortz, trying to make him make a mistake, but that time he reads it really well, and we have a timeout right now.
I like that idea about explaining football to women.
Yeah, maybe we can get some feedback from our listeners out there. I was talking to Bob before the game, and maybe I want to talk to Mr. Laubach and to the RCN people about next year doing what we call Football 101 and having a show on RCN maybe every one day a week, and we could sort of explain football to people. I have a lot of people come to me and say, hey, Tony, what do you mean about the waggle? Tony, what did you mean about, bootleg? What are you talking about, a 3-4 defense, a stunt, a follow stunt, a thunder stunt? What's cloudy? What's storm? What are those kind of things? And I had this idea about maybe having a show that we could do, maybe Football 101, and explain the little intricacies that we can't really do here as a color commentator because it would take too long, especially the way I talk. And maybe give you a little insight into what is taught on a football field, the basics. And then when you watch a game, you can sort of watch the little things we talk about.
And some women have told me over the past that one of the reasons that they don't watch football, and for that reason probably hockey and a bunch of other sports, they simply do not understand what's going on.
Yeah.
And this might bring a whole new concept to local high school football where the women can enjoy it just as much as the guys. And here's a carry again, and I'm telling you, I'm just so impressed by this young man, Mike Bortz, who will get another first down for Penn Argyl.
Yeah, now that time what they do is they overload to the left side. Their strength is to the left. He fakes a pitch to the left, and he's coming back to the right. It's something he's been doing all day. And the key there is the tackle on this side's making a real good block at the line of scrimmage and opening in a hole. And what's happening, the defense goes to the strength, and that's giving him a little seam under the weak side.
I'm surprised, Coach, maybe that they hadn't thought about having Mike as a running back all this year instead of a quarterback, because with this kind of ball carrier and Hicks in the backfield, you really don't need a superstar as a quarterback. Again, here's the carry inside the 10-yard line to the 9. That's Tim Hicks.
No, I think what you need is a general out there, and I think if you probably really got into Mike Bortz's into his head or his locker, if you could be that fly that we have in this room here right now, if you could be that fly in the locker room, you would sort of understand the way he thinks and the leadership skills that he needs to run an offense down the field.
Okay, that's the end of quarter number 3. Penn Argyl driving downfield, knocking on the door again, and leading Notre Dame 14-3. We'll be back with the final quarter in just a moment.
You think about the roads people drive on, how each one is different. Then you build a family of cars that treats them all the same. The 2005 Volvos with electronically controlled all-wheel drive. For confidence on any road.
Allentown Business School means absolute success with degrees in medical, technology, business, design, and legal studies. You get the right skills from specialized training that can put you on the road to success in as little as 18 months.
ABS gives the students what they need to succeed. I would definitely recommend it to anybody that wants to get a career and get on their feet and get into the work world.
Not too many people can get up every morning and say to themselves, you know what, I'm only 23 and I have a career.
Call ABS today and discover absolute success tomorrow.
Games.
Well, we'd be back. I'd be freezing here. Let's see.
We have flies. We have bees.
You are now, or Tony Coca is now referred to in the sports local Lehigh Valley area as one of the Magnificent Seven.
Yeah,
and when I see the other cronies, I mean the other guys there, you are in very interesting company, like Keith Groller and Andre Williams and Jeff Schuler from the Morning Call, along with Mandy Hausnick, Brian Wald. There's a news assistant, Tony Coca, TV analyst, and Bob Flexer.
Yeah, Keith told me that if I win, I get free Yacos for 3 years, and Keith buys.
Yeah, well.
Man, that's trick or treat on that one. How about that one?
If there's anybody that knows about food, it's him.
Yeah, me too. I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah, we all do. Well,
yeah, Keith right now is roaming the sidelines over in Bethlehem Stadium, trying to do a byline over there. And here we are. The U-boats have not surfaced yet. I can't see because I got the fan in front of my head here.
He's just better than you are. Yeah. There's a handoff to Hicks. Hit right at the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Oh, that was a real good play by Notre Dame there. They basically stunned it into the B gap, and that's where Penn Argyl runs the play.
Well, I'll tell you, Eric Sampson is really going to miss this young man, Mike Bortz, next year.
Oh, yeah. Really nice play there by number 28, Brian Jung. He does a real good job coming off the corner. Ladies, that was what we called an isolation. That's a B gap. For all the people out there, when you're watching football, defenses control gaps. The A would be between the center and the guard, the B between the guard and the tackle, and the C between the tackle and the end.
3rd down and 4. Mike Bortz on the keeper, and he's going to be hauled down, fumble, and I think Notre Dame may have come up with it. Yes, they
have.
did.
Yep, they had, and that's Notre Dame had done a real good job defensively down here on the goal line. I don't know what Coach Brown said to him during that in between the quarters, but whatever he said must have got home, because that was an aggressive defense that I've seen them play all night. Watch right here, boom, boom, and there he is. And he goes to pitch when he's going down. He tried to do too much there. instead of just saying I'm going to eat my losses and go down.
Brian Ward on the hit and the fumble recovery. How about that?
Yeah, he was trying to pitch the ball, and it just got away. Sometimes you just got to say, I'll take my losses and play for tomorrow.
1st and 10 from the 10. 11 minutes remaining in the game. And Notre Dame has got to go to work now and get something going, and it's not going to start this way as Julian is hauled down in the backfield.
Yeah, sometimes you teach your kids that, hey, you go so far. It's like when you're behind a tree in golf, and instead of like taking the easy way and chipping out, I'll try to go through the fars. You know, and this is what happens there. Now, right here, number 56 gets beat on a block, and 82 for Penn Argyl, that's Brian Mellon. He comes in here and he does a real good job getting the sack. Now we got their 2nd and long.
Josh Mellon playing a heck of a football game along with the rest of his counterparts. 2nd down and 14. Julian goes into the end zone. Gets it out to Del Vecchio at the 5 to the 7, 10, 12-yard line. Gets a little bit of running room, but not much.
Yeah, a little rocket screen, and he gets back the sack yardage, and now it's going to be 3rd and 10. Let's see what happens here. Here we have a little rocket screen. See lineman release down the field. What happens is Penn Argyl's basically in the lane there. I don't know if it's Melham again. No, it's number 65 for Penn Argyl, and that's Arafai. I got his name right.
You got it right. Very good. Under 10 minutes remaining in the football game, and certainly this thing is not out of reach for Notre Dame. One play can turn it around. Pass completed.
And that's what they were successful on. That's that dig pattern coming in between. When you run a zone defense, ladies and gentlemen, what happens is that you're playing areas. And in between men, you're going to have dead areas, space, windows, we call it. And that's what happened. Notice this is a cover 3, and there's the zone between the corner and the safety. And Jillian makes a real nice play. And what happens is that Pulsini makes a nice catch, and now it's 1st down. Now they got to do that all the way down the field. They don't have much time left.
1st and 10, and again, Julian, as he has all night, just stands back in that gun trying to get some maneuverability, and he gets it out to the 40-yard line, but it's an incomplete pass, and 10 for Del Vecchio, who dropped it, 2nd down.
Now that's the same pattern to the right side, and Del Vecchio just simply the ball's thrown a little low, and he just can't dig it out. Watch right here. Again, throwing to the right. See, his shoulders aren't squared. His body's not squared, and he throws the ball a little bit into the ground. That's mechanical things, and when you get to college, you have a quarterback coach who can spend 24 hours with you, and those are the little things that are corrected. Unfortunately, in high school, you just don't have the time to do a lot of the finite things with your athletes.
2nd and 10, Julian, again, look at that, flip of the wrist. That's all he does, out to midfield, incomplete. And that was intended for Jake Hughes.
And that was just, you said it, Bob, a flick of the wrist.
3rd down and 10.
Interesting call here. I would go to some kind of maybe trail pattern. You know, if you're going to do, what you do is you send the receiver down the field deep, and then you trail a receiver, and he breaks off the pattern underneath, and you might get yourself a 10, 12-yard gain.
Julian again at the 10, looking, fires, incomplete up at the 40-yard line, and it was intended for Chris Lewis.
Yeah, what time? That's real simple. There's receivers out there going, I was open, which they always say to the quarterbacks, but if you watch the quarterback, he's under a lot of heat. Here comes number 22 off the corner for Penn Argyl. That was Ryan Del Palma, and he puts a lot of heat on Jillian. So now Notre Dame has to punt, and hopefully they can get a turnover again.
McAvoy from the 12-yard line will punt this away with less than 9 minutes remaining in the game, and it's going to require the Notre Dame defense to step up at the 42-yard line. Fair catch by Steve Waring, and that's where Penn Argyl has it. They've had great field position, Coach, all night long.
Yeah, and they're just, what they do is shoot themselves in the foot. They either did, the touchdowns were real good plays, but I think the keys were the fumble down here in the second half, and then the dumb penalty that you take here and there, and that's the reason that this isn't probably a little bit more of a wider score than it is now. But give credit to Notre Dame. They're doing everything they can. The defense is doing everything to keep the offense in the game. The offense just hasn't had field position in the second half.
1st and 10 for Penn Argyl. Let's see if they keep it on the ground or... Yep, they do. Bortz carries across the 45, 50, 49-yard line. Man, his statistics must look outstanding tonight. I said he probably will hit 100. My guess is maybe a lot more than that.
Yeah, I read, speaking of statistics, I read a statistic that if you get the ball on your opponent's side of the 50, let's watch this. Here's that little short counter play, the quarterback keep counter. If you have the ball on the opponent's side of the 50, you'll score about 60% of the time. If you're down inside your own 20-yard line, you're only going to score less than 10% of the time.
Okay. 2nd down and 2. Nice situation to be in. Hand off to Hicks. Tim straight ahead. He'll get the 1st down. 45, keeps his feet going to the Notre Dame 42, and that's where Penn Argyl will have a 1st and 10.
Yeah, Penn Argyl's starting to wear on Notre Dame a little bit. Their defense has been out there quite a bit, and I think Penn Argyl's just a tad bit bigger than Notre Dame is. And what's starting to happen is that 4th quarter, we're getting leaned on a little bit, and those like 3-yard gains are now turning into 6-yard gains, and that's where this game starts to turn a little bit.
All you got to do is you want to be a successful football coach, know as much as Mr. Coca, and you can have your chalet in the Swiss Alps.
Yeah, that's why I don't have the Swiss Alps, because I don't know enough football.
Here's Hicks. Pitch out, across the 40 to the 37-yard line, and Hicks is bounced out of bounds.
Tony, no football. No. That's why Penn State called me and said, hey, Tony, don't apply.
I can see why this team is going to be 6-3 after tonight, and probably they can look back on those 3 losses and probably can figure that they could have grabbed maybe 1 or 2 of those.
Yeah, I don't know who Penn Argyl lost to, but I'll tell you what, whoever they probably lost to Northern Lehigh and Saucon Valley, because those 2 teams were undefeated a couple weeks ago. I don't know who the other loss was, but I'm sure that Coach Sampson's saying, my God, you know, we don't lose that one. You know, and with Northern Lehigh, Jimmy does a great job over there, and Coach Bowman does a tremendous job over there. Saucon Valley. Look at
35, 30, 25, 20, still on his feet to the 15-yard line, and Bortz is hauled down at that point.
Yeah, you know what? Put another battery in. You don't need to put another. This kid's the bunny. He just keeps going and going and going. We saw it against Caddy, and now we're seeing it against Notre Dame. Look at this. It's just the same play over and over again, and he's just getting downfield blocks by his receivers, and right now Notre Dame's sort of on their heels a little bit. And if you watch it, you just see that wave of green up there, and I'm not talking about the grass. I mean, Penn Argyl is right now just getting into the Notre Dame people and just blocking them off the line.
Approaching 7 minutes remaining in the game, and Penn Argyl again knocking on the Notre Dame goal line at the 15-yard line. Bortz keeps it. Not even a guess anymore now. He just will continue to run and run some more, picks up 3 or 4 more.
Unbelievable.
I'll bet you I would be willing to bet tomorrow morning's paper, we see the numbers, he's got 150 or better.
No, I tell you, he's going to be a real one. Thank God he turns the clock back this weekend, because he does get an extra hour of sleep, the rest of those weary bones. But I tell you what, again, 9 o'clock in the morning, they'll be in there watching film tomorrow morning, and he's going to be sitting there, and the kids are going to be cheering him on. And the linemen, you can see they like blocking for him. You know, it just permeates through the whole team. The kid is an athlete. He's a leader. I'd sure like to have him on my football team if I was the head coach.
Bortz is going to call timeout.
He saw something he didn't like from the beginning. I have no clue if it was he didn't have enough time to get the playoff or what.
Want to send our condolences to Skip Bear's family at the loss of a good friend of both Tony and I, and Dick Tracy, and many, many, many other folks in the Lehigh County area and the Lehigh Valley area as a whole. And Mr. Bear will be laid to rest tomorrow. And I'm sure there's going to be quite a few people at that viewing tomorrow morning. So what a great guy, a fun guy, known him for almost 30 years. And as Coach Tracy would say, and Tony, you know, he really was an enjoyable character.
Man, he was a Zephyr. He bled maroon and gold. I mean, this man, I remember meeting him when I started teaching way back in 1971 when I started at Whitehall, and he was part of the school board. I know he was instrumental in getting Joe Gerenser to come over to coach at Whitehall. And Andy Molosky, and I know when I was the head coach, the kids used to kid him all the time that he was Jeffrey Lurie because he was down at my practices once a week finding out what we were going to do. He was always interested in the Whitehall kid and was truly a Zephyr booster. I'll miss him, seeing him at basketball games when I do the clock over there, and obviously I'm not around the football field anymore, but Skip would even stop at my softball practices. A true gentleman.
Oh, yeah, always used to kid me about my father. He'd say, yeah, father is his first nickel he ever earned. I used to get rust on the nickels on the bar top from leaving there so long. Inside the 10 to the 8-yard line is Bortz.
I could hear him saying that.
Yeah.
This is, again, they're not doing anything. There's nothing secret about what Penn Argyl's doing. It's the same play. They're going to fake the pitch to the right, and they're just going to come back to the short side with Bortz carrying the ball, and the offensive line is doing a great job for Mr. Bortz, and he's just getting to that weak side. So Notre Dame has to make some. I would start stunning off of the weak side, force him to do something that he, out of his norm right now.
Well, you're right about one thing. I think they're just simply wearing down this Notre Dame defensive unit. Here is Bortz now going to carry, and they come up and make the stop at the 7-yard line. So they're still getting up a little bit slowly, but they've contained Bortz that time. It'll be a 3rd down and about 2.
You know what? He's got to be exhausted. Maybe it's time to give the ball to Hicks 1 or 2 times here. I mean, right now, the whatever those electrolytes or electric things, whatever goes to your muscles, I don't know what they call them. You just drink Gatorade and say, get out there and play. I don't want to hear about it. You know, he's got to be hurting a little bit. So he'll suck down some Gatorades. He'll get the electrolytes, eat 3 bananas. He'll cramp up like a bad board tonight. And Mom's going to go, oh, and Dad's going to go, shut up and suck it up and get out there. Get ready to play next week.
4th down and less than 2. Bortz straight ahead, right into the end zone. Touchdown, Penn Argyl.
Shows you what I know.
Oh,
that was a great burst and right through. Very, very good, Mr. Bortz. I can tip my hat to you. That was a Bortz drive.
Wow, look at this.
Look at this.
Boom. Straight ahead. What an athlete. Well, that gives them the room they need now, which should the extra point being brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Volvo dealers. Present the extra point of the game. Snap, boot up. It is good.
That was Victor the kick ball is good.
And with 4:38 remaining in the football game, it is now Penn Argyl 21, Notre Dame 3.
Happy Halloween, everybody. I mean, this is going to be, this is trick or treat. This is treat for Penn Argyl and trick for Notre Dame. Watch the touchdown. Watch it. A little trap by the guard. Guard makes a real good block on number 57, and in Bortz goes. I'll tell you what, that is a Bortz drive, but let's tip our hat to the offensive line from Penn Argyl. They just said, let's get at them, boys, and let's put 10 on 10, helmet on helmet, and let's take the Notre Dame boys off the football, and that's exactly what they did. And Bortz goes down in there and has a touchdown. And I don't know if Bortz makes enough money up at Penn Argyl to buy him dinner, but he at least should buy them all a big Gatorade for tomorrow. Those offensive linemen, the unsung heroes of football.
Was up to Dietz's in Bangor the other afternoon for lunch. Got a chance to talk with Jeff Dietz, and a great family up there, and I know they're watching tonight's football game. So to everybody in the restaurant and the bar, hello out there from RCN 4 Sports. And here is Notre Dame now with the football at the 20-yard line, getting the carry or getting the football is Chris Lewis. He'll bring it up to the 28, and it'll be 1st down.
Wow. Did you hear that?
Say that again. I know Chris Popik was...
Bortz is over 1,000 yards rushing and over 1,000 yards passing, and it's like only the 4th person in Pennsylvania football history to do that.
Well, he had 834 coming in the night, so I was right. I said he had got at least 150, which would have put him at 984, so obviously he's about 175 yards tonight, which would put him over 1,000 yards for the year, according to Chris Popick. And congratulations to Mike Bortz. Here is Julian's throw, and it's complete up at the 40-yard line, and not much more than that.
I don't think we have to look very far for Ayako's kid.
No, I don't think so either. And Matt Pulsini on the reception.
That was a nice throw, and there's again the little dig pattern. Notre Dame is they got a nice passing attack. I think it's a simple case of just not getting the job done a little bit earlier in the football game. Not that they can't come back and win the game, but you can see Penn Argyl's defense out here. They're just playing nice and loose out there.
Julian fires over the middle, incomplete, intended for Chris Lewis, and it's the Chevy Chase, that movie, Ray, or I don't know what the heck I'm talking about.
But we got the band going in front of us here, ladies and gentlemen. They're keeping the bunker from being attacked by the U-boats out there. We get the movie. Freddy Krueger's in the basement. I was down in the basement looking for a chair. He's down there. You ever notice that those movies, the girls always go down in the cellar in their BVDs and the electricity's not working? I can never figure that one out. I guess that's just to sell tickets.
Incomplete.
You know he's down there. He's got this 6-foot knife. No electricity in the house, and the girl's in her BVDs, and she's going to go down the sign. I got news for you. I would run. And if my wife was in front of me, I would trip her so that he gets her first, you know. It's real simple. I'm not going anywhere, you know. The horror movies are all the same, and I'll stay up till midnight watching them, you know.
Oh, man. I hate to see the collection of movies you have at home.
Mary Pop. I got all the Disney collection.
And I'm sure you do. 3rd down and 10 from the 40-yard line. Julian again. Fires, tipped at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete. Will bring up a 4th down, and maybe they'll go for it now anyway.
I definitely don't have Freddie and his 97 different things.
Did the Halloween series, Jason, are those the most exciting horror films that you've seen on?
The exciting part is Jamie Lee Curtis. I mean, the first Halloween scared me. After that, it was sort of, okay, I figured that out. Alien I liked also. That's another one of those. My wife always said, you watching this crap again? I said, yeah, Jason's coming out. He's going to hide behind a tree. Watch, here comes a girl in the BVDs. No electricity. And the kids go camping. They're in the tent.
And I can see your wife's eyes just rolling and saying, oh, no.
Yeah, she said, why did I marry you? I said, for times like this.
4th down. Julian running out of room now. Winds up, fires downfield. He's got a completed pass at the 30-yard line.
It's going to go.
Lewis, 20,
touchdown.
10, 5, touchdown Notre Dame.
And that's Jillian. That was all Jillian that time. A lot of pressure. Penn Argyl came at him. He scrambled. We're talking about Freddie. He throws the ball down the middle of the field, and he gets the receiver out there, number 21 for Penn Argyl. That's Chris Lewis, and Chris Lewis makes a real nice play out in the open field. Watch. Here's the pressure. Jillian tucks the ball. All of a sudden, he says, does a Randall. McNabb. I'm going to throw the ball. Boom. And they lose track of where Lewis is. Lewis cuts across the grain. Escort in for the touchdown. Now, I don't know. They're going for 2. Yep, they're going to go for 2 and try to cut down the deficit to 10 points.
Well, Julian could have quit right at that point and taken the ball out of bounds, but he kept his eyes open all the way, spotted Lewis open, and now he got 6 more, and he's going to try to get 2 additional incomplete in the end zone.
Play. Really nice defensive play. That was by number 6 from Penn Argyl. That was Dan Ruggiero. He had that well covered.
Good effort by the Crusaders as they pick up a touchdown, 21-9. As we approach the 3-minute mark remaining in the football game.
Watch out there, a simple little curl pattern. Throws the ball to the inside. He throws it outside. The receiver might have a little bit of a chance. Now we get to see Notre Dame work on the onside kick, and we watch Penn Argyl work with the hands team.
Hope you enjoyed tonight's games. Game 1, Easton Liberty, followed by this one, Penn Argyl Notre Dame. And tomorrow we'll pick up the beat at tomorrow night at the Bethlehem School District Stadium with Dick Tracy and Tony Coca. We'll have all the play-by-play action of Northampton and Bethlehem Catholic.
We're going to be in the big press. You're going to be in the big press box.
Big press box.
Big press box.
Right.
Like that's the one where you have like a coronary walking to it, you know.
Yeah. once you get up there, you're okay, and just use the oxygen mask and everything else. But
and I'll have to put up with Danny Moyer down on the sideline again, moving the cables again.
You'll have fun.
Oh, I always do. I am having a real good time out there, ladies and gentlemen. All the rumors you heard about me going someplace are not true. There, how's that from the horse? How's that from the horse?
That's right. I asked the horse tonight, and he said, N-O. You know, here is McAvoy's little onside kick over midfield. Pile up, and it looks like Notre Dame got it.
They got it. The fans are cheering on that side.
Recovered by Jake Hughes at the Penn Argyl 45. Look at the assistant coaches. You think they're done for the night?
Here, let's watch the replay. There, boom. The third bounce, ladies and gentlemen. The ball always comes up on the third bounce. Watch. 1, 2, 3 comes up.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's the science of football.
Yeah, I think it hit Josh Mellon, and then Hughes jumped on the football, and it's first down and 10.
See what happens here.
Julian winds up. Here he goes. Airs it out to the corner. Incomplete. Intended for Del Vecchio.
Yeah, that time he sort of looked at Del Vecchio all the way down, and number 21 from Penn Argyl, Timmy Hicks, he's covered. He has Del Vecchio covered pretty well.
We'll see Notre Dame again next week in their season finale, we think. Next Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock at Wilson High School. Always a great crosstown battle between Wilson and Notre Dame to finish their seasons. And we urge you, if you can't watch it on TV4, come on out and enjoy the football game in person.
This is a rivalry weekend.
Sure.
Okay.
Pass completed to Del Vecchio at the Penn Argyl 40.
Okay, gain of 5. Now it's going to be 3rd and 5. That's a nice little hitch pattern. There it is, outside hitch. Now, you know what Penn Argyl has to do, the defensive backs have to understand that they have to make the tackle.
Yeah, I was going to say, if that tackle wasn't made, Del Vecchio would be adding 6 more on.
It's not panic time, ladies and gentlemen. They need 2 scores, so they got to sort of methodically work this down and try to get one within the next minute or so.
Julian fires out to Pulsini at the 40. Breaks a tackle, 35. Still spinning to the 32-yard line, and that should be enough for a first down for Notre Dame, and the drive continues with 2:40 remaining in the football game.
In high school and college, the clock stops when you get a first down, and that's what now Notre Dame sort of in a little bit of a hurry up.
Clock now moving again. Time very important for Julian. Passes incomplete.
Yeah, you got to catch that ball. That ball has to be caught.
To Del Vecchio.
Watch right here. It makes a real nice throw. And Del Vecchio he just took his eye. He was looking to turn it up the field. At this point in the game, guys, you just have to sort of concentrate, catch the ball. You got to get 2 scores, but you got to get the first one before you get the second one. I mean, that's simple math, I think. 2nd
down and 10. Score would make it real interesting here for the last 2 minutes. Pass over in the corner, incomplete. Once again, intended for number 4, Jake Hughes.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Bob.
That's
but
right.
Penn Argyl's just simply in a prevent defense, and that's where you got to throw underneath it. This is where, you know what would go right now, I bet? A little screen. I mean, not a screen, a little draw type play. Because what you have is Penn Argyl bringing the front people and the secondary dropping off into a prevent type look, because it's going to be 3rd and 10. And now this would be a really nice place for a little slip draw.
3rd down at the 40. Julian got his man, Pulsini, at the 20.
I think it's a first down, yep.
And it is enough for a first with just about 2:15 remaining in the game.
Team doesn't quit. Watch, here we go. Again, I like this throwing to the left side, because as a quarterback, his mechanics are better, and he's throwing the ball. And the Pulsini kid makes a real nice catch.
First down at the Penn Argyl 20. Trailing by 11. But needing to score once and then worry about the rest. Intercepted at the goal line by Tim Hicks. Intended for Paul Del Vecchio. and the Notre Dame drive is ended.
Yeah, I think he went to the well once too often onto that side. Watch what happens here. And Hicks is a good athlete. Yeah, he just didn't get. You got to get some air over the ball, or under the ball. I'm sorry. Looked like just number 4 was sort of open in the middle, and Penn Argyl sort of baited him into that. No quitting the Notre Dame team, that's for sure. Now let's see if it's the Bork show again.
Two minutes remaining in the football game. 1st and 10 from about the 5.
Yep.
And Bortz will continue. 10, 15, 20. If he can outrace that defender, he gets to the 40, 44-yard line before being caught from behind by T.J. Daly.
He's going to sleep real good tonight. I mean, that's a simple case. He got outside there, and he's going, come on, legs, come on, legs. And the legs going, I ain't going anywhere. I am dead for tonight. I mean, right now, his body's he's just tired. He's a tired camper, but a heck of an athlete. And now he's working on heart, too, there right now.
And he's approaching 250 yards rushing tonight. Man, he can get one more big run. He'll hit 300 yards. That's unheard of.
I remember that one time we were playing Freedom High School. We had Nick Kurtz. He ran for 429 yards.
Oh, my goodness.
And the bad part, he was 6 yards away from the state high school record for a single game. And I got yelled at by people saying, how come I didn't give him the ball? And it's like, no, wait, I carry that record in my back pocket. I mean, but Nick's performance that night was, like, unbelievable. Player of the game, I vote for Hicks. I mean, for
Mike Bortz.
Mike Bortz.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Mike Bortz will be our Yakos player of the game. Congratulations. Last time we had the game, Tony and I, with Catasauqua, he and Tim Hicks were co-players of the game. And you can check the morning call tomorrow, and my guess is that you're going to see the final stats if you're interested. That this young man will have accumulated at least 250 yards from tonight's game.
Hey, Mike, send me half a hot dog.
Maybe. Boy, I'll tell you, that food, man, it's so good tonight.
Oh.
Those hot dogs, that sausage was the size of a rock. Those things were big and huge
they
and
were.
tasty.
That
Thank you, Tony
good.
Corey. Wonderful. Now Hicks is going to have a chance, and he will be bottled up. Caught. There's
Some
a flag.
hanky. Yep. The officials don't stop working. I think Tommy must have had some kind of holding call by one of the linemen on the pool. 72.
Okay, here comes the call.
Holding on White, 10 yards from the spot of foul. Repeat the down.
I'm sort of glad they don't give the numbers in high school.
Really?
Yeah. I know people out there like who, but I'm sorry if I slipped on numbers. I saw him word 72 there, but it's just one of those things that, do it as a team. Take it as a team the whole bit, because he's going to get yelled at tomorrow anyhow. You don't want all the Lehigh Valley to know that.
DeFelice is wide to the near sideline. Bortz will probably keep it anyway. He does. Straight ahead. Look at this. Across the 35, 40, 45, 50, 45, changes direction. Goes to the 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. Knocked out of bounds at the sideline after a 50-yard gain. That will put him over 300 yards for the night.
That was a real nice run. That time his leg said, okay, I'll take you this far. Now, coach is going to say, take a knee. Uh-oh. Do I see yellow cloth out there? There's a flag. Now what?
It's against Notre Dame. It will count.
Probably an illegal block from the back.
Block in the back.
Yep.
On White. 10 yards.
So that's going to take about
50 yards away from him.
Yeah.
What a great night by Mike Bortz. Congratulations, young fella, on a super night.
Let's see if we can see it.
10, 15, 20.
Somewhere around there.
25.
I didn't see it, but right there. You saw it. You see that? a peel black block. One of the things you try to tell your kids is don't throw the block if the runner's in front of you. And that time, I just came out. It was up in the. If we can run that one more time, guys, if we just run the end of it. I don't know if we can get that.
That was exactly a 50-yard gain for Mike Bortz.
Yeah, I kind of picture as Bortz made the cut to his left and came over to the sideline, I saw one of the Penn Argyl kids peel back. Here we go. Watch the replay here, folks. Here it comes. Watch. Here it is. You see right there. Boom.
Oh, yeah.
His head was behind him, yeah. His head was behind him. It's a safety thing, ladies and gentlemen. That's one of those things that... You watch that game on Monday night where that big tackle took the chop block on the Cincinnati Bengal. That was sort of like a cheap shot. I mean, he went down. There was no need for that. You got to stay above the waist.
Baltimore over the Eagles on Sunday by 3.
Pardon? I was listening to the announcer. He announced the Liberty game
Well,
final.
yeah, well,
Go ahead. What about the Eagles?
Yeah, I was saying Baltimore by 3 over the Eagles on Sunday.
You really think so?
Yeah.
You know what? It's tough to go this far and go undefeated. You know, I agree. I think I'm waiting for that one.
Well, you know, if you look at the number of teams or the teams they've beaten by record, it's not very impressive. I mean,
the Shark Portable Steam Cleaner is as professional a product as any I've ever used. It did a great job.
There's not another steam cleaner on the market that even comes close to the Shark Portable Steam Cleaner. Indoors or outdoors, it's the most powerful, most versatile steam cleaner there is. You've seen what it can do, so start making your life easier. Pick up the phone and order your Shark Portable Steam Cleaner now.
Manufacturers promised us steam cleaners would revolutionize the way people clean, but they didn't, because not all steam is created equal. That's why EuroPro scientifically engineered a portable home steam cleaner with true professional power. I mean superpower. It's the Shark Portable Steam Cleaner. Watch it clean dirty grout, bathtub scum, and a kitchen floor. Even this fire engine. And not all steam